welcome to this episode of Weekend Live. We're going to be discussing a couple of things. The new Fantastic Four movie, the Happy Gilmore 2, the interesting, wide spectrum of emotions on that, a slight touch on Together and Materialists. There's a new Jason movie, apparently. Dexter Resurrection, for those of you who are watching on Showtime right now. We'll wait a little bit before we get to that. We're going to talk about South Park and maybe spill the tea. And to join me in doing all of that, we have Gray Poupée. Gray, how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Yeah, what a great time for entertainment content. What can I say? This is a fun time that we're living in with I don't know, some good shows for a change. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's usually the summer is only the movie like time, but it seems like shows are kind of, well, I mean, if it's anything other than Dexter, I'm not thinking of it, but it's odd for there to be entertaining television in the summer. I always thought of it as like a fall winter thing.
Yeah, for sure. So, I'm feeling like it's a good time, better than most.
Yeah, indeed. So the big movie of the weekend is Fantastic Four: First Steps, which I have to admit I saw the wrong Pedro Pascal movie this weekend, but you
Ooh.
did see First Steps. Thoughts, sir?
Apparently there's a bit of an echo on me.
Oh.
So
I thought I had it
that's
fixed.
probably not the greatest.
Really? It shouldn't be an echo.
Shouldn't be. Yet here we are. I don't know.
Yeah, just maintain, because I altered it a bit.
Okay. I'm definitely not gonna say that this is like the greatest Marvel movie ever, but I gotta be honest, I had my expectations very low on it, and I was very surprised and pleasantly surprised in every way. So yeah, I think this is definitely my favorite Marvel movie I've seen in a long time. So hell yeah, it does feel like I know they had a whole lot of talk about getting to the right direction. So I'm hoping they did. So if this is that direction, I'm kind of all for it. I wanted to see more, and it's been a long time since I've wanted more out of a Marvel movie. Usually, I just want it to stop, and it this time, I'm there for the ride. So I don't know. That's probably the best I can say about it without any spoilers or whatever.
I want it to
Definitely
stop.
not a 10 out of 10. I didn't want it to stop. This time I wanted more. Not
Yes.
the usual Marvel.
So the estimates for the weekend are at 118, which is good. It's good for modern Marvel, but it's not excellent. That's for sure.
Weren't they estimated at like 130 or something?
The high end was. I think it was 115 on the low and 130 on the high. And
okay, so they hit the low at least.
Yeah. I mean, if you were to get dropped in from the year 2017, and I were to tell you that, a new Marvel film that releases in July doesn't go north of 120, I'd be a little surprised, to say the least.
Fair enough. Yeah, you're right. I think you got to look at their recent track record, though.
Yep.
I don't know. They don't have that good faith like they had back then.
So, how do they do this like multiverse thing where it's a different Earth, right? Like they're full bore into this is a different universe thing.
Yeah, yes.
Is it
I think
explained
it's
well?
like 616 instead of 828. Yeah, I mean, yes, they explain it quite well, but also you're just kind of immersed in this world, and it's this kind of retro futuristic vibe with almost like a yellow tint, almost a mustard tint, if you will. To me, it just visually stood out from a lot of the other ones, and man, it looks like they had a vision, and they just kind of put you in this existing world, and I dig it. I think that's what we kind of need out of some superhero ones. There could have been more use of powers in this, but that's not necessarily what this is about. I think that's the trade-off with not having that introduction. Then generally you get to see more power set. But yeah, that being said, I would have wanted to see more. So to me, it works. And somehow I guess they cut out Defoe, or excuse me, not Defoe, Malkovich. I don't know why I
Oh,
always kind of confuse those
character
two.
actors.
So yeah, I would have wanted to see what he could have been in this universe. But fair enough. What they have seems tight, and I dig it. So yeah, it's definitely at least worth seeing. Unlike a lot of recent Marvel.
Yeah, I I I I have one, like, I'm not really, if it takes me a month to see it, I'm not really bothered. I will admit that I'm intrigued by whether or not there's a certain $75 million actor in it, but and I would imagine it's not till either the 3rd act or post credits.
Yeah, I am not 100% positive on it, but yeah, definitely stay till the credits are
Okay.
done, and the answer will be there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I don't know, for me to be interested in a potential 30 seconds of a movie isn't really enough for me to waste 90
I
minutes.
hear you, but I don't know. It seemed like it wasn't a waste this time, where I would be hard pressed to defend a lot of the other ones. So I don't know. I hear what you're saying. If you're looking for that 30 seconds, you might actually be pleasantly surprised with this one.
Okay, interesting. Alex says very light on action, still good though.
Yeah, I think that about sums it up.
Mhm.
But it's got some action in there, and you get to meet. They do show parts of this world that are really fun.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not gonna be like a disappointment because, like, my expectations are already so low. So, like, uh, uh, I'm not expecting anything, and if it's nothing, I'm not surprised, and if it's something, that's a pleasant surprise. Um, Sean, uh, €5 super chat, thank you. Multiverse is the worst
Oh
thing
yeah.
to ever happen. It's just lazy writing to make things that make no sense. MCU so desperate so that they came up with nonsense. I don't know if it was who first did the multiverse thing. It wasn't MCU, was it? Was it Deadpool
Uh,
technically?
I mean, if you're going with that, then let's go Kevin Smith. But yeah,
Oh,
fair enough. Well, I guess that's more a connected universe, but fair enough. Yeah, I think the multiverse. I mean, it's always kind of been there in the comics, so I understand. But they always kind of have that out. They always did kind of have those, but yeah, it's kind of a lazy gimmick. Everything just goes back to multiverse. But
yeah,
then you get the fun of how you're going to use that.
yeah.
I finally caught the Peacemaker 2 trailer, and it looks like they're doing a fun way of kind of playing with that in the DCU. So I'm kind of excited for that. But I hear you.
I
I'm a little. I think the multiverse is outplayed, and I think they have realized that. So there's a cycle to this, and then I think that'll come to an end.
Right. I think the things that makes movies special are this couldn't happen in our world. That aspect makes things, intriguing and fun. And yes, it certainly is fun at times. And yes, they've beaten it to death. So I'm of both minds where if you're going to sell me on one aspect or the other, I'm going to agree with you because I do think it's fun when it's like, I won't lie, I smiled my ass off when Deadpool had all these other nice pool, all this other shit. It was cute. But the problem is there's so much of that. Um, like even like Doctor Strange
Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness. I enjoyed that movie, but at times it was like, please can we scale it back? I have a headache.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think there is a natural end to it, and I guess that is Secret War. Kind of after that, they're doing a reset. Even Feige kind of agreed to that the other day, or at least confirmed that there is going to be a. He didn't call it like a hard reset, but essentially expect everyone to be recast after that.
Hmm, okay. And Jaden has size issues. Galactus was a bit smaller than
Ooh,
expected. There were shots where
shit.
buildings were taller than him. Great.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just noticed Alex's comment. Well, sorry everybody. I swear
I
I'm not in a tin can, even though it sounds like it, maybe.
Yeah, I'm trying to I'm controlling the audio here. Sounds fixed now. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Alex. Hell yeah. But yeah, I agree. The size of Galactus was a little unclear, but fun times.
But isn't his thing that he grows and shrinks? Isn't that his? I don't remember much about the things that weren't in movies.
That's the thing about the MCU. They never kind of confirm what it is, but they're definitely not going off of comic accuracy. So unclear.
Yeah. So Sean says, I'm the same with time travel. It's where you can do lazy writing that makes no sense and explain it with time travel, multiverse, same thing, lazy writing. I don't know if lazy writing would be the way I'd describe it. Do they take back doors every now and again? Sure. But I think when you're going to have plot holes or plot holes in time travel shit, but when it's done well, I don't think Back to the Future 2, and certainly not Back to the Future 3 for that matter. I don't know if that's lazy so much as those things connect rather well. And Primer, when it works, it works. Groundhog Day, I wouldn't call that lazy, at all. Although it's not, I guess it's not technically time travel, right?
It's time loop, I think, instead of time travel, but it's the same thing. Yeah, I get what Sean's saying. You can always say, when you write yourself into a corner, okay, multiverse, or okay, time travel, if you're in one of those worlds. Fair enough. It is kind of like an ejection button, but you can still do it well. I don't know.
Yeah.
The ones that Charles pointed out, like Primer especially, it's really hard to come up with some problems with that, but there's always kind of a paradox. Even Looper, which doesn't seem to work, man, I think that's definitely, if it's not my favorite, it's one of my favorite Rian Johnson ones.
I dig Looper quite a bit.
Terminator. Jesus, I totally forgot about that.
Wow.
Love Terminator. But yeah, it doesn't really make sense, but still, love it.
Yeah. I mean, like anything, if you use something enough, it becomes a bit of a crutch. Alex says Days of Future Past does it well. Yeah, I think there are exceptions, but like anything, I think a movie we'll be talking about in a couple of minutes, they beat something to death quite a bit. But before we get to Happy Gilmore 2, Together, I think it opens this week in the UK. I'm not sure how long has it been out in the US, or is it this week everywhere?
I thought I saw the 30th, but I'm not 100% positive on that because that is kind of the middle of the week. So I'm not sure if that is what it actually is or if it was this last weekend.
Yeah, it might be Wednesday the 30th. That makes sense because in the summer they do Wednesday shit or holiday weekends or what the fuck's August 2nd? That weekend doesn't make anything.
I'm not sure. So I could totally be wrong on that, but if it wasn't this last weekend, then it's next week. It's this week's stretch for sure.
So there were early screenings that I was able to catch for Together. I won't get too heavy into it, but it is this year's The Substance. It is a body horror movie that it is to relationships, to dating, to commitment, as The Substance is to beauty, and it's it's wild. It's I what I said in my little quick short was it is the silver to Substance's gold. So, like we talked about before we went live, you're into body horror, I would certainly recommend it because it's got some gnarly shit going on in there, and you may never have sex again. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
How dare you curse either me or everybody? I'm not sure who you were referencing in that, but
everyone.
I don't know, man. It looks really good. The trailers totally had me hooked, and then there's kind of a bit of a controversy with the script, but it did win some awards at a couple of the original showings of it, which
Best adapted
uh,
screenplay?
that was the one, I
Oh no,
believe, which
I was
kind
playing
of
into it.
oh, okay. I can't remember exactly what it is. I'm kind of blanking on it because it just kind of after the controversy came out where there might be extreme elements of the script that were borrowed from another one that we're not 100% sure on. Yeah, I don't know. Still, the idea intrigues me, and man, that trailer, it looks so beautiful. So I'm hoping the rest of it kind of lines up with that. But yeah, it definitely gave kind of the Substance vibes,
Yep.
but not nearly as brilliantly colored. But
Right.
still, it looked quite
Yeah.
beautiful.
I think the humor, the jump scares, uh, the gore isn't as good as the Substance, but the humor like really hits in spots where it's like I didn't expect to have a laugh line here, and even with it being kind of funky, it hits and it's really well done. Um, yeah,
And with it being a real couple too, I'm sure that works on a weird level with Dave Franco and Allison Brie being like a real life married couple.
yep,
I'm sure they were a little bit more comfortable in some of these
right,
awkward
right,
positions than just some stranger.
yep. So yeah, visually it's not as pretty, but the Substance I would say is certainly stylish. Um,
Oh, yeah.
so about the issue surrounding Together, apparently it is currently in the middle of a lawsuit for well, plagiarism, I guess is the easiest way to say it. That do you have the story on how this came to be, this lawsuit?
I do not
Okay.
have it
No,
all memorized. I know I read it like 2 months ago. So just going off memory, apparently they were presented a script that had similar elements, and then there's kind of extremely similar body horror elements that have gone into this. That I am very unsure without kind of reading scripts. Now I'm blanking on what the last one was. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was the holdovers, and I can't remember the script that was accusing him of kind of stealing certain elements and it being so similar. And when I actually read that script and I read the whole, and I've seen the holdovers and read his original script, I found like nothing similar to it. And I believe he was vindicated in that lawsuit. So I'm not sure on this. I just know the allegation was extremely similar elements, and the body horror element seemed to be
yeah.
borrowed.
So there's an independent film. It's titled Better Half that both Alison Brie and Dave Franco were approached with. Um, Evidently, they didn't end up doing that film, and made Together with Michael Shanks. Michael Shanks says that the writing was done in 2020. It started in 2020, but ended in 2022. Apparently, the meeting between Alison Brie and Dave Franco was in 2019 for this Better Half film. I think it's interesting, but if I've learned anything from last year and the oh shit, I already forgot the title of that stupid movie. The Blake Lively
Oh,
it
it
starts
ends
with
with us.
it
Come
starts with
on,
lawsuits.
man.
Yeah, so considering how much that got messy and sloppy and I don't know. It was hard to get a proper read of things. It seemed like if you had a better publicist, people thought a certain thing of you. So,
For
um,
sure.
so the I remember reading the director Michael Shanks says like he brought up things that there's this element with the mother, and like I could read that in on both sides of the argument. Like, oh, this movie's 90 minutes long, and he's talking about this one little plot point. Why not talk? Like, why not talk about how your movie is different? Because there's Dave Franco's character, has a history and some mental health issues about his mom. It's not something that I would say would be at the top of my, 5 things to describe this movie. And I can see someone saying the first thing you're talking about is this little fill-in thing for our character that really doesn't really have much to it by the second act. I can understand someone being like, well, that's kind of weird. But at the same time, if they're both similar plots, I guess I would want to highlight the things that are different. So I don't know. It's a sticky situation without knowing who's what. Where do you land on this, Gray?
So I unfortunately haven't seen either of the films.
I
I
think it's
would
better.
definitely want to. Yeah, I definitely would like to see both of them, or at least read both of the scripts and see, because man, again, the now I'm completely blanking on the Paul Giamatti one.
Oh, the whole
Holdovers, thank you. I don't know why I was stuck with an L, and I just could not think of the title with an L in it. Yeah, the Holdovers. So I don't know why, but yeah, that 100%. I would kind of bought in with he stole this element from the script that was shopped around to him. Looking at both of them, basically what he was claiming is like there's an older figure who's kind of a role model, and it's like that to me is not the essence of that film, and there's just so much more going on in there, and I just think it hurt his chances of winning an award, and then it kind of tarnished the reputation on that movie, which really sucks, because that one's something special. Definitely check out the Holdovers.
I'm not allowed to say why I'm so confident, but I think it's interesting that if someone were to want to adapt a story, there are legal ways to do things like that in the entertainment industry. I have knowledge of, but I can't legally say how I have knowledge of situations where someone has had material of theirs bought, and a studio or something would pay someone for their art and then do what they want with it. And to be honest, if you were to take the two pieces, the original thing and what they ended up using side by side, you'd be like, that's really weird. They only share, they both take place at a beach. That's the only thing that is in common with them. So even when they legally have the ability to do something with it, it still becomes this Frankenstein's monster. So, I mean, how many times are there movies where they're very similar things that happen? Like how many, like the Armageddon, Deep Impact, like that those were months.
Volcano movies.
Sure. Dante's Peak. Volcano.
There was the climate change ones too, Day After Tomorrow, and now I can't remember the other one that came out around that same time. But yeah, it seems like there is this similar thing where it's Hollywood, so it's hard to put it past them that they're not trying to just get in front of the other person. You know, there's always a slew of whatever dinosaur movies after, dinosaurs hit big. But, when they're trying to compete, are they trying to guess what the next wave is? Or was that just in the zeitgeist and it's just a similar premise?
Right.
You're much more familiar with comedy, but how many times has there been a very similar premise? In fact, there's jokes that are just based off of a certain type of premise, but man, it's kind of that punchline, like where else you take it. It changes. But I think you could have the same with movies.
I think I've told you this, that I had a bit about Braille on the drive-through ATM, and I had someone who came up to me after a show, and they were like, "That's Jay Moore's bit. Did you steal that?" And I was like, "What? No." And like it was just it's just a happy accident, because whenever I was on the road and I had to get money, I wasn't getting out of the car. And I just thought it was funny that there's Braille on the buttons at the drive-thru ATM. And then I went and found the bit that Jay Moore was doing, and turns out he's got a better tag. So I was like, people are accusing me of stealing this, and mine isn't as good as his. So this is kind of frustrating. So I kind of tried phasing it out. So like, how many people joke about airport security? Like, it's just things that people experience. I think the only thing where I'm like, ooh, that's a little weird, is the fact that Dave Franco and Alison Brie um, have this interesting
Sure.
connection to the two. That's the only thing where I'm like, that's odd.
But they also have a connection in that they are a couple and they've been in a bunch of different things.
Yeah,
Who wouldn't want to do something that involves a relationship? Who hasn't been in kind of a toxic relationship? Or I'm assuming what these illusions are getting towards. Perhaps an unhealthy relationship instead of a toxic one.
oh, yeah. It's again, it is to commitment as the substance is to beauty. So, however you want to look into that. So,
It
yeah.
just sounds like you could get there
Hmm.
from a bunch of different ways. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm not fully convinced, but you're right. The fact that they took a meeting with these people and apparently they got somewhat into the negotiation. From what I understand, it wasn't just like a one-off, but perhaps
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing that like I kind of squint at because it sounds like Facebook, how the Winklevi presented an idea, and next thing you know, it was I forgot what the original title was. See that you only remember the winner. Uh,
Yeah.
Harvard. Yeah, I don't care. Too smart for me. But yeah, there's there's just this tiny morsel there. It's like that's interesting. Um, yeah. So when you see together, Ray, we're going to have to circle around and discuss that because
Okay.
it's interesting. I'm curious as a body horror fan. I'm curious to see how you would compare it to the substance at the very least.
Hell yeah. I think that was my favorite one of last year. So
Mm.
I hope it compares in any way towards it. But
Uh,
yeah, looking forward to it. I should definitely see it by next week.
Nice. Evening, Scott. Evening, Dice. So to the big one of the weekend, it wasn't Fantastic Four. If you have a Netflix membership, you can watch this right now if you want. Um, after 30 years, Happy Gilmore 2 is here, and it has a 2.9 average on not Discord, on Letterboxd.
Letterbox.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds right to me. I thought you were going to say on either IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, really? Wow.
Not out of 10. Um, so so the most popular review on Letterboxd is by someone named Matthew Ellis. The only happy thing about this movie is when it ends.
Hmm.
I gave it 1 star. I think, Gray, you were a little bit more favorable to it.
Ooh, you only give it 1 star.
I did.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could go kind of halves, but or
You can.
in between halves.
No one's,
I think I'd
no
go
one's
like
stopping you.
I think I'd go like 3.25, but since I can't, I think I'd go right at 3. I'm not kidding, man. I was expecting like the rock bottom. So I'm a huge fan of comedy, and there is almost no second in a comedy series that like works in any way for me. Like it's always a step down, and I just expected a real step down, especially given Adam Sandler's kind of track record. Uh, I can't think of the last like actual Adam Sandler one that I enjoyed. Not like I mean, of course he's
Uncut
in
Gems.
other people's movies, yeah, like Uncut Gems. There's a couple of ones that I'm blanking on in the last like
Oh,
5 or so years. But I'm thinking of like was it like Ridiculous
hold that
6
thought. Hold
or
that thought. Hold that thought.
oh yes, sorry.
I cannot stand this. All right, so let me switch back to this. All right. So anyway, there was an echo before, and so I can't have fun. That's basically it. So just
no.
repeat yourself on how you feel about Adam
Uh,
Sandler.
Yeah, what can I say? I haven't enjoyed like many of his, if any of them, since he did this Netflix deal. I'm trying to remember what they were, but I remember like Ridiculous 6, I think it was, or whatever. To me, they've all been completely forgettable. I hated like Grown Ups 2. A whole bunch of them going back. I I know people like Click. It didn't click with me.
That's almost 20 years ago too.
I know, it's been a while, but, my wife likes Pixels, I don't know why, so I've seen that one a whole bunch. I've grown to not hate that as much as I did
Mhm.
initially, but, what can I say? My sweet spot is kinda these old stupid ones, and they were stupid movies, and Happy
Yeah.
Gilmore is one of them. I've literally seen it in the triple digits. I couldn't tell you how many hundreds, but I absolutely loved it as a kid, and then, I had a cousin who absolutely loved it, and that was basically the babysitting of him, and then, yeah, nephew that's just anyway, I've seen that movie way too many times, so I expected there's no way that you couldn't screw this up, but, I maybe it's because I had rock bottom, expectations, just every second in comedy seems to suck, like, everything that everybody is putting up there, like Dumb and Dumber 2. Man, that didn't quite live up to it. I love me some Super Troopers. Super Troopers 2 seems like it's a percentage of it. It is
Mm.
definitely not on par with that original one.
Mhm.
It seems like that with every single one of them. The one exception that, did kinda come to mind, a lot of people like Sister Act 2 better than Sister Act.
What?
It's been decades for me, and I don't
Mm.
really remember either of those, but, I'm trying to think of, like, anything legacy, like, Hocus Pocus, I think they took, like, 20 something years in between those, and man, that second one is just nowhere near that first one.
Yeah.
This to me, in Happy Gilmore 2, it was that same type of stupid comedy. It seemed like it was very on par with it. Yeah, Caddyshack 2 was a kind of a letdown for me.
Gladiator
I don't
2?
know. Huge letdown for me. So I don't know. It just seems like sequels are always a letdown, and this, to me, it made me chuckle like 3 or 4 times, so
Wow,
that's
3 or
better than
4,
any
huh?
Adam Sandler. Way better than, I'm not saying Hocus Pocus 2 was the worst, it's not a classic. I remember so much from that first one, and that second one, don't think I need to see it again. And that's kinda what I'm saying about this one too. It's a comedy sequel. It's better than I expected, so to me, it's better than average,
You
but
laughed 3 or 4 times, and it's better than
I said
expected?
4. I think I said 4 or 5. I expected 0, man. Did
Okay.
you see Ridiculous 6
I
or
did.
whatever any of his
I
last ones
did.
are?
They all,
Did
like,
you laugh at all?
blend together, like the Manhattan or the murder mystery thing with Jennifer Aniston. He always in movies where he has an extremely hot significant other in his movies,
Mhm.
but,
Yeah,
none of them,
it's
like,
a thing,
stick out to me. Um,
but, like, I don't know, Ghostbusters 2, let down.
mm,
I'd have to think, Naked Gun, 2.5. To me, it's not as good as the original one. Dumb and Dumber 2, horrible. Ace Ventura 2, When Nature Calls. I don't know, to me, that's kind of a step down. Austin Powers 2 was a
Beverly
huge
Hills
step
Cop
down from
2.
the first one. I kinda like it, but, it's not that first one to me.
Okay.
Meet the Parents, that's not quite the same. Analyze That, nowhere near Analyze
Oh,
This.
yeah.
Zoolander 2,
Oh,
uh, yeah, I'm trying to think of,
okay,
like, any
so
of the other ones
by
that I can
this
think of.
by the standards you're
I'm going
listing,
by the
you're like,
sequel standards. Yeah, it's like
okay.
to me, it's better than I anticipated, but, yeah, it's a really stupid movie, and it's just absolutely full of cameos. If
S
that sounds like it like all of the recent, kinda Sandler movies, so
so
if that's what you're into, go ahead. Okay, thank you. 22 Jump Street. I do think that one's better than the first one. That I think is a rarity.
so, um, if you have no knowledge of the first Happy Gilmore, how does the how does the quality of the
Oh,
movie go for you?
it's gonna be a really stupid movie. I don't know if it's gonna work, but,
Right.
also, if you're super into it, there's elements that they do that seem to really piss people off. There's a big choice that they make quite early, in order to
Oh. Oh, yeah,
uh, I'm
depressing
just saying
factor? Yeah.
yes, so, to me, Happy Gilmore is best when he's at his worst, and, you leave him on quite a high note at the end of the first one. How long can you have that? Do you wanna catch up with some dude who has it all, who's just amazing, or do you kinda wanna see that angry guy who's gonna yell at the clown? To me, that's what I wanna see, so I get what they're doing, and, they did it as an homage to the first one, so, I don't know. To me, it makes sense, but I can understand people being upset with it.
I
But
I think I would have preferred it if they did a soft reboot rather than like a, I don't know what the fuck I call it because it's like this weird homage to the first one where it's like, "Hey, remember that
Yeah,
thing? Remember the tall guy with the screw in his head? Here's another tall it's his son, see? Isn't that hysterical?"
yeah.
Like,
I don't think it makes any sense if you haven't seen the first one, and, it's gonna
right?
turn off a lot of people that saw the first one. But, I gotta be honest, it's a lot of those that, kinda those brought little smirks to my face, but, a couple of them got the
So
chuckles.
the problem is, like, if for some reason you didn't get around to Happy Gilmore 1 and you watched this, how how do you think someone would feel about going back to the first movie if they watched this and they were like, "Oh, so this is what this franchise is?"
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like
Yeah,
it
it's
it
at least
lean
30% that first movie, so I don't know. It would be a really strange experience.
it
Um,
it leans
I honestly can't.
so heavily on, like, lines that have developed over 30 years where, like, the
Yeah.
"it's all in the hips" thing, like, that's a little fucking throwaway thing, but in this movie, it's like, "Hey, remember It's All in the Hips?" And it's like,
Mhm.
if these 2 characters knew each other the way they do in the movie, like, that wouldn't be a thing, and, why
Yeah.
are all the people that are currently dead in the same cemetery and, like, just I
I
understand
mean, that's
having
as stupid as the
sure,
first one was
sure,
too, like, okay, so why are there people, like, taking his grandma's shit out of her house when, she still has X amount of time to pay for it or
sure.
whatever? I mean, there's certain weird things that don't quite add up, but, fair enough.
So there
It's a
it
dumb world. It's
it
an Adam Sandler world.
it depends on you knowing the references they're making.
Oh, yeah.
Running gags that I think are beaten to hell. Um, like, there's a running gag
Yes.
that I don't so you said you only laughed, uh, we'll call it 5 or 6. We'll go on the high end. Um, I know there's more than 6 references to this running gag thing that,
Oh, yeah.
comedy, granted, rules are meant to be broken, but the rule of threes, um, I would have thought that having a running gag of sorts,
Hear ya. But if you do it 13 times, it's even funnier.
a multiple
It
of
comes
3.
back around. Um, yeah, I don't know. That is not the part that got me. I understand the running gag, and it's like, okay, you've kind of done this over the top. Yeah, I get you. That's not one of them that made me laugh. A lot of it was around certain cameos and a character that's more of a main than I anticipated.
Oh, is it Bad Bunny?
No, it's one of the actual pro golfers that I didn't
Oh,
anticipate him being
John
such a
Daly.
big part. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that dude. But also, what can I say? I'm a sucker for Christopher McDonald. Like, that dude is in 2 of my favorite movies from the '90s, and then so many other things. Just man, from SLC Punk and Happy Gilmore, that dude is just like the stereotypical awesome kind of uptight, wants things exactly how they are type of person. So I really dug his or his entire, I don't know what you call it, motivation, his character arc in this.
I agree with
That
that.
to me works. But anything that Christopher McDonald does kind of works for me. Even he actually replaced Robert De Niro in these Midnight Run movies that were outside of the actual awesome Midnight Run movie.
Oh.
But uh, that dude is just awesome. He got to play Jack, man. It was pretty awesome.
I would agree with that. I think, McDonald was in a different movie than everyone else. I feel like he was performing
I
rather
love that
well.
dude.
Um, I just I don't know, like, I guess I smiled or chuckled a couple of times. John Daly is something that I laughed at. The see, the running gag thing is something that, like, I saw the John Daly thing, like, a a beverage choice. like, saw that, like, a mile away where it's like, "Don't you did it. You fucking telegraphed it so
Yeah.
hard."
So that's not the part.
Mhm.
Those I knew I was gonna get, and I knew it was gonna be that stupid part. But yeah, there's just like little things where it's like, okay, I didn't anticipate them doing that, and that's kind of what the funny things were from the first one too. One of the most quoted lines is the one cameo that they were able to get in that first one, which is Lee Trevino saying like, "But Grizzly Adams did have a beard." It's kind of awesome. So I don't know. It seems on par with the first one, but much percentage lower. But what they're trying to do seems just as dumb as that first one.
So the comedy style of this movie, it is
Mhm.
something I think it's even scaled back on the rating because I noticed they stopped themselves from saying the F word, a time or
Yeah,
2.
they also censored his happy place. There was still the lingerie and the beer, but, there was another element there. So, he had his grandma playing the slot machine, but there was also a little person on, like, a tricycle or
Oh,
whatever,
right.
and that's just omitted. I'm assuming that's kind of
Hmm.
censorship or possibly self-censorship where they've grown a bit.
See, so I think having restraint and being able to, rule of threes, being able to execute something and make the audience wanting more, like, I think that's what good comedy does, where you're like, you're, I don't know,
I don't know if it did that.
right.
I'm
So
good on Adam Sandler movies for a long time.
I,
I think
I,
it was
I,
a good goodbye.
I think what this movie is like targeted towards 5-year-olds. If you've ever been around a kid that thinks something's funny, they just do the same fucking thing over and over again. It's like, dude,
Wasn't that the accusation between, like, Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore? It's
but
like, this
he
is, like, childish humor.
sure, but, like, it's one thing to be childish, it's another thing to be childish and repetitive where it's just the same thing over and over and over again, and, again, having restraint, having us want more is something that
Oh,
what
there's no restraint. Like, come on,
r
this is
right,
a Sandler movie.
but
There's no restraint,
y
man.
y uh, w by comparison, if we're comparing it to either Billy Madison or Happy Gilmore, the there are points where you're not, every scene isn't some sort of, I don't know, some option like it. They don't go for the cheap laughs in those movies. Where here it's just like, how do we fit some ridiculous joke that we've done 15 times already in this movie, and bring references to things like you brought up the Grizzly Adams thing. If you're gonna have that moment where a person who isn't the original character saying that. It's something of a reference to the people that know, but it if that were the only thing, that'd be fine. But like this movie constantly references things that were funny the first time, and if anything, it's just like, hey, remember that? Wasn't that funny? And it's like you're not adding to it. You're just doing like a callback, and I don't know what about what's happening
Yeah.
in this movie is new and rewarding to me, is my
I don't
question.
think that's what a sequel usually does.
Well,
It's usually, "Remember this?" and, "Hey, look, new people."
yeah.
Which, that's all this is. It's kinda member berries and cameos, but, man, it made me chuckle a couple times, which, I cannot say that for a lot of Sandler's other ones. I
So
don't know, for some reason, The Ridiculous Six is the only one that I can remember on Netflix, but
which one
like
is it?
Hubie Halloween, and there's a couple other
Oh
ones,
my
whatever those
god.
things are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, yeah. With that logic in mind, yeah. I guess. Yeah, I guess it's better than Ridiculous Six, sure, but they took poor Benny Safdie and ruined him. I finally have a Benny Safdie movie that I fucking not he didn't direct it or anything, but holy shit, Benny Safdie, um actually, you know what? I guess if there is restraint in this movie, even though they kinda beat it a little bit to death, Benny Safdie has um, an issue about him, a health issue that they kind of have as a running gag, but um, it's one of those things that they don't draw attention to so much. Where like he's got bad breath, and there are moments where he'll say something, and someone around him will like make a face. Like, I think there was, like,
Yeah.
something where a fan was blowing and someone behind him, like, the 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 restraint that this movie ended up doing was not, like, fucking pushing in and showing the guy having, like, some weird cartoon reaction. Um, I I think I think it's better for the audience if you do something and you don't draw attention to it, but if you catch it, you see it. Like one of those things where, like, oh, I'm gonna wanna watch this again because I think I missed, a gag there, and they
And
didn't.
I thought they were going there, specifically with the Safdie, character, as you're mentioning. The first time that he meets Happy Gilmore, I don't know if you noticed in his cart, but, like, just the entire upper deck, whatever you call that, where you put your delicates, I was just completely full of garlic. So I thought they were gonna go a different route
Hmm,
with it, that it's, like I thought they were just going a different route, and that was gonna pay off at some point, but it does not. Being vigilant, noticing little things. No, that's not what this is about. They're
yeah,
not paying off like that.
that's that's, unfortunate, and, like, how many of his kids in the movie are his kids in real life?
I do not remember. I know at least his daughter's in there, and I think his son is as well, but, I cannot remember. I know a
Yeah.
wrestler is, one of the kids.
So it's like it's a bit much. Like and again, it's a comedy, classic Adam Sandler. It's like it I would like it of the 15 steps they take, I would like it to be at least 5 less. Some of the things that they do are it's just too much. Um the uh the aspect of it's hard to I mean I don't want to spoil it, but it is something that's kind of alarming and jarring. There are inconsistencies, and yes, it's a comedy. It's a stupid comedy. There are things that like he has a money problem again. That's why he has to golf all over again. But like there are things like where he has like a Lamborghini, and he works at Stop and Shop, and he's taking a Lamborghini to Stop and Shop, and like I get the juxtaposition, like who the fuck would have a Lamborghini while working at Stop and Shop? But like he has a money situation, and they don't play on that juxtaposition where if he needs money, he should sell his car, or um, you know, it brings some sort of joke to that where it's like, hey, look at how silly this is. I have a fucking $300,000 car, but I need $10,000, for a house payment. Like it's just
That's
it's an
just another one
opportunity.
of those look over here things, but then they're not gonna pay it off. Yeah, no, fair enough. You're totally right. There's a lot of it that doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Kinda Yeah, I don't wanna defend it because
you gave it
it is stupid.
3.25 stars.
I didn't, so I said I would, but they don't allow me to do that, so it's technically 3 for me.
That's
But,
still too
fair
many.
enough. I disagree, man. For,
Oh,
a comedy sequel that's a legacy movie, like, it's got all this
okay.
pressure 29 years later.
All right.
To
So
me, it's not as much of a letdown as I expected. I laughed more than a lot of comedies. So the one other thing so you're right, there are a bunch of stupid things, but I think there's a bunch of stupid things with, like, the grandma apparently never paying taxes in the first one. Uh, like, there's and him also winning enough money to pay it off and then getting fined. Like, there's a bunch of really kinda stupid logic
oh,
in the
the
first one as
fine.
well, but it all kinda makes sense, and I'm just willing to go with it. And in this one, I think there is some stupidity that I'd also be willing to go with, but I hear you. It is literally a stupid Sandler movie.
Yeah.
To me, I expected a lot worse, and I was pleasantly surprised. So maybe I just had that way down low, and maybe it was like Friday night. What can I say? I was in a very good mood. So
You've got some multi logic with the comedy here. So four or five
I don't
four or
think
five
so, man.
laughs equals 3 stars. Not
When
funny. Not funny. Not
I'm
funny.
looking at all of the classic ones. But, so that was only laughs from me, but man, my wife was, laughing, like, almost the whole time. So, I don't know. I think one of the things that especially, like, these Netflix comedies really miss out on is that whole, like, theater experience. Just, man,
Mm,
there is nothing like it when jokes hit in an audience.
mhm.
Just there's nothing like live comedy, and then short to that or second to that would be actually watching a really good comedy take place, like, in a theater. Just man,
Yeah.
when the whole theater just, like, ignites, that is awesome. I think there's a few moments in this that could have done that. I think it would raise it up in other people's eyes where you're just by yourself. I think there's a lot of ways to just like not laugh. And
Yeah.
I think this had a lot of those moments. And sadly, I think all of the Netflix comedies kind of suffer from all the streaming comedies kind
No,
of suffer from that.
you're
But
right. There's something that kind of planted the seed for me that like I knew I wanted to experience that and maybe have control over it was experiencing laughs in There's Something About Mary, and seeing it multiple times and knowing that um, a similar like the
dude,
same part hits the same way every time, and experiencing the different reactions to something that I would expect a certain laugh for one time, and less another, but like the shared experiences over the course of 3 or 4 times, it was like, this is interesting. Like it was fascinating to me that something that's so similar can have different reactions, and there are 4 or 5 parts in that movie where like never fail. If the house is packed, they're fucking rolling on this part.
mhm.
And
I
yeah,
got a chance to see Something About Mary. Maybe it was like a decade ago, but it was like one of those classic screenings that they just do like one day.
mhm.
Man, that was awesome. Just man, that Frankenbeans thing, just
Oh
the
yeah,
second that hit, just
yeah.
man.
The zipper reveal when he turns around and like Lenny Clark is laughing at it. That is the part. That is the part that every time the reaction was just, man. If I could bottle that energy, I would.
Yeah, I'm nowhere putting this anywhere near on par with that. Like, please don't get me
No,
straight. I just think, sadly, a lot of these comedies kind of suffer from not having that audience. I think there's jokes that you might not quite laugh at, but hey, if an entire crowd was, it might play a little bit better, more positive.
I
But
agree.
fair
I'm not.
enough. I don't think this is a 1 star. Maybe we could go somewhere in between, and I'd be happy with
All
that.
right,
But
all right. So
fair enough.
as a unit, we will give it 2 stars.
I'd be okay with that.
Okay.
It's not great, but for a sequel, it's better than I expected. Especially a 29-year-old legacy sequel.
Mm.
Just man, I expect the worst with my
But they ruined Benny
experience.
Safdie.
I thought he was funny. I thought, like that dude can play a character because
Sure.
I'm assuming that's not him.
It was I don't know why I got a horse. It was fun seeing him play a little bit. Like because Benny is in Good Time. He's the brother, right? He's the Robert Pattinson's brother in Good Time.
I believe so. I always get the
I do
two
too.
Safdies
Yeah.
mixed up, but I believe that is the same one.
Yeah, so, seeing his range is quite interesting, and knowing that he could do comedy and this, like, doors off type comedy, it's interesting to see it. I don't know if I would want to have him doing something like that, but, um, another part of the Swiss Army knife, if you will. But, um, so the reactions have been interesting. Cody has,
Yeah, I watched his. He seems to be very angry with it, and I get it. I don't know. To me, it's. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's anything like The Last Jedi, but I also understand in there where they take somebody who's at their prime, make them at their worst. I get it. That pisses off a lot of people, but I think you have to have some arc for the main
I don't
character.
wait a
So
minute. I don't I don't think
uh,
Cody's got this
just so
Last
you're
Jedi thing
taking
going on.
I'm not saying Cody does. Sorry, I'm not explaining that well. Just he doesn't like how they make Happy at his worst. I'll say.
Yeah, like, it's weird, like, so I had a look at his TikTok comment section, and I don't know if it's just, like, 2 totally different it might be 2 totally different generations there, but it seems like
Ooh,
the bulk
what's
of
TikTok saying?
oh, they love it, like, love it.
Hell yeah, TikTok. Maybe I should look more into TikTok, but hell yeah, you guys, you get it.
Yeah, you gotta get that meth crack account and, start talking about things for 40 seconds. So, Cody, expressed his, displeasure with the movie, and a lot of like, I saw a lot of repetitive types of comments where they're like, "What do you expect this to be? It's not The Godfather, blah, blah, blah. Not everything's gonna win Oscars." And it's like, yeah, okay. I don't know who's going into Happy Gilmore 2 expecting an Oscar movie, but at the same time, um, this is the same crowd that says comedy's dead. So is Happy Gilmore 2 comedy's back? It's like, is that what the crown we're gonna put on Happy Gilmore 2 by the TikTok crowd?
I don't I don't wanna speak for the TikTok crowd. Obviously, I
You just
respect
adopted them. What are you
their
talking about?
opinions. I'd have to say no. Like, I found this movie enjoyable, surprisingly enjoyable, but, yeah, if you showed me, like, a bunch more of these or so I just saw that Spinal Tap 2 is in
Eh,
development. I'm not excited for that. I
mhm.
really am not excited when I hear that they're gonna make these legacy sequels. Just man, it seems very, I'm really not for it.
Mm.
I guess I expect the worst, so if it even becomes, like, somewhat watchable, I guess it's better than I expected. But yeah, I wouldn't wanna see another movie like this, even if it is not legacy, just the same type of deal, like, "Hey, let's just show a bunch of cameos." I don't know, for this, it kinda worked for me, but, I was in the right mood for it, I guess. But,
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't wanna see a whole bunch of these. I recently saw a trailer for, Naked Gun, the remake of that, and it looks better than I anticipated. When I saw the teaser one, I was like, "I really don't know about this." But man, I think that'll be a test of whether anyone actually wants to go to the theater for comedy. I think, if not, these streaming ones, they might be the place to go. There have been some kinda interesting ones. I think it was, Prime that had, like, Ricky Stenicki. I gotta be honest, it was one of the funniest ones I saw last year, and I fully expected to hate that as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know, I think streaming, you can do something relatively cheap, and it can be kind of independent, and you can do your own thing with it.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And Jacob says, "I thought it was harmless fun. In my opinion, it was better than anything Sandler has put out with Netflix." I agree with that, but at the same time, Netflix Sandler has not really been like so. Yeah, it's the best thing Sandler's done since 2003, 4, 6.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'd go with something like that. Like, I've got a soft spot for the Zohan, but I understand why a lot of people didn't like that one. Also, that's like Apatow, so I don't know if that's technically Happy Madison, but I don't know. But, fair enough.
I actually
I feel
agree
like
with
that's
you. I
I
don't know
know.
why, but it's like borderline of well, it's probably offensive to some people, but,
I'm sure.
yeah, I don't know. It's it when they go to New York and, fill in all of those stereotypes, it's
Yeah.
funny. It's very funny. I don't know how else to, listen, I'm a horrible human being. When you want me to say I laughed at that shit. Um, I just think it's part of the problem with judging, the mob mentality is, we're judging just a group of people, and there are times where there are different people speaking during those times where uh, I'm essentially saying that, oh, the internet says that comedy's dead. Also, the internet says that Happy Gilmore 2 is great, and I don't think
I don't
there
know if
might
anyone's gonna say it's
there
great.
might be
Well,
a
is
Venn
TikTok saying it's
diagram.
great, or it's just it's a comedy?
Um, so there are 7,240 five-star reviews of, uh, Billy Madison 2
Alright.
Happy Gilmore 2.
Happy Gilmore too.
Um, Billy Madison upcoming next year.
Yeah, I
For
was gonna say, this might set the path for all of those, coming forward, but,
so for reference, there's 3,846 4.5-star ratings. So there's 11,000 4.5 or higher ratings.
I mean, I'm glad a lot of people liked it. I'm assuming that they were looking at it as a stupid comedy type of thing, but I don't know. I think Jacob's comment pretty much, sums up mine. The whole, it seemed like harmless fun to me. So,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and I expected to completely hate it. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Click. Yeah, certain people like Click. I don't know why. There's just this better one that I think it was called Stay Tuned, but, that one just it's like a better version of
the
Click to me.
John Ritter?
Uh, Yeah, that one.
Holy
I just
shit.
absolutely loved that one when I was a kid.
That's like a
But,
horror movie of sorts, isn't it? It's like a fucking dark comedy
yeah, I
horror
mean,
movie.
so's the idea behind Click, they just don't play it like that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because if you watch something like Uncut Gems, and even like for a hot minute during Happy Gilmore 2, Adam Sandler can be a good actor. Like it's kind of frustrating where it's like, can you just do this? I think if you take all of Adam Sandler's greatest, moments in films or movies together, you'd have a full day of stuff to watch. I don't doubt that for a
But
second.
you'd also be watching, like, Jack and Jill, I'm just saying. There's a
I
lot of
don't.
bad in there.
Dude, I don't know if I told you this, but when I was with my mother and she was laughing her ass off at Jack and Jill, I'm like, I don't know. I'm adopted. There's no chance. There's no chance we have the same DNA.
I mean, there's a couple of laughs in there. The Dunkachinos thing, like, I don't know. It kind of invented some of the memes that are out now. It's kind of that format, but
And
fair enough. Perhaps
Elon
that ruined culture.
Elon Musk humor is not what I'm interested in. Yeah, so I think it's interesting how conversations get driven, and unfortunately, like you said, it seems like genre stuff or comedy stuff, especially because horror has a life in theaters still. Comedy, it seems like they're on streaming. There's not really a theatrical home for comedy, and that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, you can do kind of a crossover between a couple genres, but straight comedy, it's been a while. We'll see if comedy's back. Not that, The Naked Gun is the end all be all, but I don't know. I got a feeling there's not a huge audience behind just straight comedy right now.
So
But sorry, speaking of awesomeness,
yeah, the party in question. Cody says this movie has created the most vitriol I have seen since Halloween 2018. I thought
damn.
Jurassic World Rebirth and 28 years later was bad. Nowhere close to this over an Adam Sandler Netflix movie of all things. Dude, I don't
Yeah.
understand what the fuck is going on.
I it seems as if we're watching two different things, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand the 5-star things, but I was just expecting 1 star. I
It's
mean, it's 29 years and it's a sequel to a comedy.
but it's
Both of those
weird.
don't.
It's weird that there's this like it's not this Oscar movie, man. Like what did you expect? And like so what if you expect garbage, like then it's okay? Like is that what we want from like why make the
I
movie?
mean, it always sucks when you have your expectations set too high. Perhaps I don't look at Avatar the best because I had this like 15-minute cab ride that I had to share with this person. They just kept telling me like, you don't understand this movie. It is amazing. It has changed cinema. Nothing will ever be the same. I have seen it like 5 times. You need to watch it. So I went out and saw it and I didn't get it. I don't know. Maybe things shouldn't be too hyped, but that's as far as I'd go with that. Just I know I've ruined things when they've been overhyped, but
Yeah,
I don't know why anyone's talking about Adam Sandler and The Godfather in the same sentence. Like it
but like
makes no sense to me.
so yeah, I don't know very many people that went into Happy Gilmore 2 and were like, okay, here we go. The Godfather of comedy sequels. I don't know who the fuck was saying that, but at the same time, like, I- do you think it was like if you're already saying something like it's not supposed to be that big a deal, so like you're already saying that you don't expect comedy to be anything. Like it's essentially what you're saying. And again, I don't know if there's overlap, but the consensus on the internet is comedy's dead. So where are these people on the
Apparently not
comedy?
quite dead.
Where are these people on the comedy's dead discussion? Because like if they love it that much, I would be the first one in that comment section saying, no, have you seen Happy Gilmore 2?
Well, I mean, it does seem like yeah, fair enough. I don't want to keep defending the film because like it isn't The Godfather or anything like that. But I feel like a lot of the editing, it is like really quick little things. It is a little bit more like online humor at this point. Kind of the shorts type deal. I think a lot of this could be clipped out specifically for shorts. I
That's
can see
awful.
a lot of people. enjoying this on TikTok or whatever. But
Oh, sure.
yeah, I don't know. I really don't think this can be the end all be all for whether or not comedy's dead. Like, obviously, it's not dead. Comedians are thriving. There's so many more comedy specials than I've ever seen, all out, basically for free on YouTube. Um, it's not dead. Just I don't know that it's the most profitable thing in theaters right now. It doesn't seem like people are flocking to it, but we'll
No.
see. I think this is kind of the home for comedy. When's
Yeah.
the last time anyone really talked about an Adam Sandler comedy? I'm trying to think of like any of them that he made for that. Like, I didn't really hear anything about Hubie Halloween. Didn't really hear anything about Ridiculous Six, other than it's not great. And man, he's got like 4 more for Netflix, and I can't think of any of them.
Yeah. There's the murder mystery thing with
That's
Jennifer Aniston.
right, those ones, whatever those things are.
Blended, isn't that one of them where he was with Drew Barrymore again?
I think that actually went to theaters, if I'm
Really?
mistaken. I think that was just before the Netflix thing, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. So like this Netflix thing, they had to get licensing, so they had to pay Universal for the rights. So they're spending money on it, which is I don't know. Like it looks like they put money on the screen. I'll say that. Like there's
Well,
a lot of shit going
there's
on.
heavy product placement there, but
Oh right, that's the first time I saw that. Where
but
there was a thing that said product placement, like over the for the rating or whatever. I was like, oh wow, that's interesting. I've never seen that in my life.
which hell yeah, I'm glad that they're finally pointing that out, because I mean it's like it's pretty obvious when they do it, but I don't know. So this one was always kind of heavy-handed with it, with the subway thing, and it was kind of a funny way that they're doing that. But
Hey, if you can get away from Jared, I would rather have Happy Gilmore too.
for sure, yeah, Happy Gilmore. Let's forget about the next mascot. But yeah, and then they definitely are still partnered with Subway, but they brought in a bunch more companies. But yeah, I heard they had this huge thing in Times Square for it too. So I don't know. It seems like Netflix actually put some money out for this thing, which is different than most of the Netflix releases. But this is huge. It is a 29-year legacy to a legendary comedy. So
Yeah, I don't know. So great if you're being content with Happy Gilmore 2 leads to The Waterboy 2 or Billy Madison 2. Are you okay with that?
I gotta think that they somehow struck lightning in a bottle like twice for me. It seems like any sequel in comedy is usually a step down, and any legacy one is usually a step down. I just expected like rock bottom for this, and the fact that it wasn't, I think elevates it a little bit. But man, I really hope this doesn't kick open the doors for those. I hope it just shows people that, hey, we can still laugh at stupid things, do stupid comedy. I'm hoping that's the message instead of the classics, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna get like The Wedding Singer 2, something like that.
I didn't even think about that. I don't want that.
I don't want that either.
So this is kind of similar to there was a legacy sequel that I was excited for because I wasn't alive for when the first one came out, and like I'm a big hockey kid, and there's this comedy called Slapshot that came out in the early 80s, 70s. It was around
his late 70s.
Was it that early? Okay, so it was
legacy, man.
Around
the Hanson brothers
before I was born, but playing hockey, it was the more adult themed Mighty Ducks movie that you would watch. You watch Mighty Ducks around your parents, but you watch Slapshot around your friends. And they had a legacy sequel in like the early 2000s, and oh my god, it was very similar the way it was like, hey, look, the Hanson brothers, except they're like 60 now. It's like, isn't this funny? I can't tell you a thing about that movie, like a thing about that movie, and it was just capitalizing on the fact that people are talking about it. Like they just constantly make reference, like putting the foil on, like that. It was funny in the first movie because who puts aluminum foil on their fists to first of all play hockey, secondly to get in a fight. That's gnarly. But like it loses its teeth if you're just doing it without explaining why or anything. Like it needs you to know the original product, and I think
They
That's
also didn't have Paul Newman. I mean,
yeah.
the original one has the star. I guess that's the thing. Everyone that could came back to this, and then some. I don't know.
Cody says if they announce wedding
I
singer renewed vows, I'm coming looking for Gray.
I understand. Fair enough. I hope it doesn't lead to that, but I get it.
Choking him from behind like the blonde caddy. You allowed this.
All right, I could see it.
Alex says Goon is the superior hockey comedy, and the sequel isn't
True.
bad. The sequel is actually quite. It's not as good as the first one, but it's
I didn't
okay.
think about that one. It's not a huge step down. Yeah, it actually it sucks because I think Kevin. Well, it doesn't suck. I'm glad that Goon exists. I'm glad that Goon 2 exists. But Kevin Smith was going to do. I think it was just called Hit Somebody. But he wanted to do a Sean William Scott hockey one where he was almost playing the similar character to Goon. Again, similar premise. That just kind of
was it Together Before Together?
in the
Lawsuit involved?
Well, supposedly he even talked to Sean William Scott, and he was on board. And then he had to go make this Goon movie, and apparently it's too similar. So that one got shelved. But that actually seemed like it was going to be a cool script that would have been better than going back to the well over and over again.
Cody's still going. 3 minutes in, Julia Gulia slips on shrimp in the wedding hall and dies. Come on, spoilers, man.
Well, I mean, he's got to meet. Fair enough. There has to be an arc for the character. You can't just have him happy all the time.
For fuck's sake. Considering their Happy Madison properties and Netflix is willing to flip the bill for licensing, I would rather some Adam Sandler universe movie where it's just this universe where all these things live together, and like you're willing to bring all these actors in and have references, just have it like be the Happy Madison universe where all these people exist in the same.
More Happy Madison movies. Like, I don't care if they connect them or not, but man, there's some really fun ones out there that they don't get quite the love that they deserve.
I agree with that, but I think doing a sequel, just showing tombstones and making references to the original thing, isn't really much to chew on as far as I don't know, anything entertaining by modern standards is I don't know. I need to speak to, I don't know. I'm wondering if Lindsay has seen the first one. If he hasn't, we're gonna do a science project with him because
that would be awesome.
I'm dying to know if someone without any experience with the first one, if they watched Happy Gilmore 2, like how they would receive
There's
it.
no way he hasn't seen that though.
Dude,
like everybody's seen it. It was just on cable all the time.
You
know who probably hasn't? I wonder if Multi's seen it.
And speaking of scoring, that would be
okay. It won't work out. But Ben Grimm mentioned Spaceballs 2 is on the way. That doesn't make me super happy. As much as I'd love to see Rick Moranis, and I hope he reprises an amazing role, man, I was not. I can't see how they can do that one justice.
Dice has not seen any Sandler movies. Dice, Science Project time.
None.
Watch Happy Gilmore 2.
Okay. You'll love it, Dice. It's highbrow.
Cody says plot. Newly drug-addicted Robbie Hart has to battle 2000s new metal as he tries to revive an 80s wedding singing. Fred Durst cameos as Greg Goulia's brother Brick. Brothers back for revenge.
I think you got me in that. Yeah, let's do it.
I'm in.
Let's put it into production right now.
Yeah, you could have a Little Nicky crossover too. For science. I don't know. When was the last Mel Brooks movie we've seen? Was it Robin Hood?
The History of the World Part 2. I don't know how involved he was in it.
That was a series on Hulu, wasn't it?
Yes. I think that's the last thing that had his name on it. I don't know. I'm assuming he didn't treat that like any of his other ones. But he did like Dead and Loving It after.
That's 30
Robin
years
Hood,
ago.
right?
It's more than 30 years ago.
You're right. You're totally right.
I don't know. I love him to death. I don't know what Mel Brooks has got going on as far as writing is concerned. I I would rather not gamble being disappointed and just leave his legacy alone. Like,
Yeah. But come on, man. They haven't talked about the prequel trilogy. They haven't talked about the sequel trilogy.
yeah,
It's ripe for
there have been
parody. But
2 extra generations of Star Wars movies that have happened since the
hmm,
last time we had a Spaceballs movie. I
I
I don't know.
I just can't see it going well. That
No.
is just so perfect of a movie. I don't know. When I was a kid, I used to have the entire thing like memorized. Like it was just
Mhm.
weird, but I was a weird kid. I used to like literally say it as they were saying like every line in Spaceballs. It is just goddamn perfect. I do not want them to make a second one. I
Yeah.
can't see how it could even be a fraction of as good.
Yeah, I think spoof comedies, I don't think they're they're in vogue anymore. Like, I don't think like, when was the last time a spoof I mean, they're doing another scary movie, so I guess we'll find out how the modern generation feels about it.
I think in like a week. I didn't write down. Oh, August 1st. So yeah, this weekend, Naked Gun comes out.
Ooh.
But
Ooh.
that's the last spoof that I've seen that's actually being released in theaters. Again, it's an August release, so this isn't like the end all be all for comedy. But when is the last time that you remember a comedy being released in theaters that was?
Um, the one that I last was like, "Oh, wow, a theater movie that I enjoyed." Jennifer Lawrence, No Hard Feelings. I think it was an R-rated
Hmm,
comedy too, where I was like, "Oh, thank God." It was like the fact that it wasn't terrible was more than enough for me. I was like, "Oh, I actually laughed and think this is okay." Ben Grimm says, "Friendship."
yeah,
Yeah, I
I
don't know if I would
have so slept on A23 this year or A24, excuse me.
A23, no one's heard about that
Uh,
either, so you're right.
yeah, what can I say?
Who's
I'm not up
talking
to the
about
new stuff
A23?
yet. I'm still on last year's stuff. Yeah, I
You
don't
gotta
know.
see
I
him
still need
live.
to see Death of the Unicorn and Friendship. Both of them I had on my list, and I don't know what happened both weekends, but still need to catch Friendship.
Yeah,
I think it's on
Friendships,
streaming now, so I
that's
should do
yeah,
that.
that's on VOD. I don't know how I feel about it. Um,
Ooh, I totally forgot about My Old Ass. Sadly, I didn't catch that one in theaters. I waited till it came to streaming, but really dug that one.
oh,
But
yeah, wait, I think My Old Ass is Amazon only.
was it
I'm
only?
almost
Okay. I
certain.
was gonna say I know I didn't see that one in there, but
Yeah,
yeah, I think there's a place for comedy, but I don't know if people are gonna
TikTok.
go to the theaters, and it seems like
It
they're trying. Yeah, that's
it's
right, just
TikTok.
TikTok. That's all we need. I just got a feeling like they want blockbusters, and I don't think comedies are blockbusters.
Mhm. Uh, Last year's great comedy, No Hard Feelings, Jennifer Lawrence named for the 8th time is always great. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Um, so I don't know. Comedy's either dead or in fantastic shape, depending on who you're asking. Yeah, like
Hey, I never said it was
no,
fantastic.
no.
I just,
I was referencing the TikTok crowd, and
oh, okay. I was
if
gonna say, I please,
if you
slightly above my low expectation.
if you want to see toxic positivity, go to Cody's TikTok video for Happy Gilmore too, because I haven't used TikTok very much. Like, I think that was the first comment I left was on Cody's video. I was like, this comment section is wild. People are just so vicious and just like, this ain't The Godfather, man. I think so, I think Cody made a reference to it too in his review where someone's like, oh, so someone buys a microphone and all of a sudden they're a film critic. And I was like, wait, what? What does a microphone
Kinda.
have to do with being a critic? It is so weird, some of the things that they were saying.
Well, I mean, you don't even need the microphone if you just go to Letterboxd, but hey,
That's
if you
what
wanna make it official, get a weird colored light and a microphone and a camera, and then, you're a real one.
everyone with a microphone thinks they're a film critic now. What? Really? Okay, I guess. So the Pedro Pascal movie that I saw this weekend, which is available on certain VOD formats, it's called Materialists, which has something
Hmm.
of a stacked cast.
Yeah, it looked interesting.
Dakota
And then
Johnson. Go on.
I was gonna say I just saw like a very what do they call that? Like the teaser trailer for it. It looked really fashion forward and everything about it looked beautiful, but I'm not sure I know the plot to it at all.
Yeah, I'm loading it as we speak because Dakota Johnson, Chris Evans. So you have a Fantastic Four person and old school Captain America. So the synopsis is this: some people just want more. A young, ambitious New York City matchmaker finds herself torn between the perfect match and her imperfect ex. And what I got from it was, if you remember Will Smith in Hitch from the mid 2000s, this is a
Oh yeah.
more scaled back, perhaps more effeminate focused version of Hitch. Hitch is a bit more lively and funny, where Materialists is a bit more, I don't know, again, feminine brained and geared towards a drama a bit more, I guess is what I would say. Um,
Hmm.
it is
I gotta be
currently
honest, I didn't think Kevin James, Will Smith when I saw the trailer for this,
no,
but
they're
huh.
they fall under that Armageddon, Deep Impact kind of thing. Like if they were both out at the
Hmm.
same time, you're like, really again? I think it's just the fact that they're Dakota Johnson and Will Smith are both matchmakers in New York City. So it's, I don't know. I gave it 2.5 out of 5. Um,
Wow. 1.5 better than gave Happy Gilmore too.
and
Awesome.
Letterboxd agrees with me. Letterboxd has it as a 3.1, which is wild without so many 5-star ratings. Celine Song directed it. She wrote and directed Past Lives. So to give you an idea of the tone this movie is. I don't know. This is a movie that I would say is perfect for streaming. I don't know who goes to a theater and watches this like dramatic romance comedy. I think comedy is like the lowest tier there. I like I find it weird for movies like this because like the only thing I can imagine is like girls' night where you all go out to the theater and watch this, because I don't think of this as a date night movie, because especially if you don't know each other very well and you're going to watch this romantic triangle thing where, you know, people's red flags are brought up in fictional format in front of your face. It would be an interesting conversation for the ride home, I guess, is what I'm thinking about. I should have stacked this differently, because this would have been a nice segue to something else, but I fucked up.
That was just not the vibe I got from the trailer at all. I guess I didn't know what I was expecting, but I was like, oh, okay, it's probably something to do with fashion. But okay,
yeah, no,
enough.
it's just yeah, they're very well dressed. You know, they're playing rich people, and rich people have money for clothes. Yeah, it's interesting seeing Chris Evans play something of a schlub. Like he's got like a normal 9 to 5, and you know, delivering pizzas and shit. Just interesting seeing that is all. It's like looking at 2004 Chris Evans. But yeah,
I see it, but fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not gonna 2.5. I'm not recommending it, but you know, if you have to shut the misses up, maybe that movie. I don't know. So the big news that I covered briefly in a short was the Jason universe was at San Diego Comic-Con, and they released a 1-minute trailer for a film that's coming out on August 13th, which is 3 weeks away.
Oh man,
It's called Sweet
I
Revenge.
assumed you meant for that show. That's
no.
Why are they not just focusing on the show? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so a 1-minute 10-second trailer for Sweet Revenge surfaced at San Diego Comic-Con, and I don't know. I don't like looking at comment sections, because I've seen people excited. I've seen people be like, "Yes, finally something new," and if I'm being honest, it looks so mid. Like, well, first of all, the catch is it's a fucking hard cider ad. It's this like cross marketing thing that they're making like a 15-minute short that is somehow tied into, I don't know, like it's an extended hard cider ad, except it looks like a fan film, like a rather paint by numbers boring fan film. I can name you like 5 fan films that you should probably rather watch over what that looks like. And what concerns me is yes, finally something new. My question to the Friday the 13th crowd, or excuse me, the Jason Universe crowd is, does quality matter?
As just one member of it, I would say to me it does, but I don't know. Is the reception that they're loving this product placement ad
So
thing?
some people aren't aware that it's like this cross promotion thing for hard cider. They just think it's a new Jason movie.
I mean, Jason might like the taste of cider. It is a bit sweeter. I could understand.
Sorry.
Uh,
I'm terrible.
yeah, I don't know how you make that crossover. I don't know. I guess there's a way that you can make that funny. There are a few product placements that do get funny. The aforementioned Happy Gilmore. I really loved the use of Subway in that one. I don't know. I can't imagine Jason and alcohol working out like that.
I tell you what, I have more subscribers than Jason Universe does. I've done it. We've done it.
Hell yeah. Deserved.
So our mama's boy is back. I'm reading comments now. This is literally all fans want, but on a feature-length level. Forget cheap TV shows, memorabilia, and all that crap. Just give us this, but over an hour, 30 minutes. He's back. You know what? This actually looks fire. Fire. I had low expectations, but this looks really good. OMFG, the GOAT is back. Not gonna lie, worth the wait after more than a decade. We thirsty for some Jason in our lives. Also revive F-13 the game. Friday fans are starving for content. I'll say, this looks incredible. The GOAT is back. We need more Jason. Me need more Friday the 13th. Jason's back like seeing an old friend. My boy Jason is back finally. Is back. That was actually pretty good. Actually fire, to be honest. Jason fix we need. This actually looks awesome. Can't wait. I don't know if they're deleting bad comments, but
I was going to say, did you filter these at all? Or it's like literally just all positive? Damn. So is it just that they're putting the IP out there like anyone can rent it, so to speak? Or
it appears to be like this licensing thing where if you want to make, you cannot make Friday the 13th because that's what Sean Cunningham has. I don't know what details he has. And I think another thing is you have to have a different mask. And that's why the mask looks kind of funky. It's a hockey mask, but it looks like, Splatterhouse, if you remember that video game.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like that, not like it just looks odd. So Jason Voorhees, the characters in that universe, that is in the Jason universe, but they can't use the Friday the 13th title. The Friday the 13th title can't use the Voorhees characters. So if you want to throw Jason Voorhees in a movie and you want to make the movie, you just got to license the character from them, which, I mean, it screams Blumhouse. Blumhouse is going to take a stab at it, I would assume.
Yeah. And if they're not going to, it seems like there's a bunch of companies just, I don't know, champing at the bit to try and get one of these recognized things. I mean, look at how many of those that go into public domain. I'm sure you could scrape together enough to buy one of these known characters. Just,
Yeah, this looks so goated. After so many years, the killer of Crystal Lake is back. Good to see you again, old friend. What the fuck?
Does it look like the worst Jason out there? I've got some that I think are my least favorite. Is this on par with those? You said mid.
Are you able to watch the The
Yes, the stream.
Yeah. All right. So let me. We're gonna have a slight echo, but for the sake of this, it's all broken. I have to change this. All right. So I've got to fix this. No.
Nice. On the fly. OBS engineering.
Paint by numbers.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that sexy guy. Happy 31 and 31. Be sure to like and subscribe.
Indeed.
Let me see. I got to figure out how to get it so that people watching can hear it too.
Adam totally took my thought process. Like, when do we get like Jason versus Popeye the Slayer Man?
Dude.
One of these, new characters with a legacy. Oh.
All right, so
I mean, that's a nice looking drone shot.
Is that what we're reduced to? Okay. So there's going to be an echo on Gray, but for the sake of everyone hearing it, Gray, if you watch, yeah. So I'll hit play now.
You all settled in?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, look at this.
You got a beautiful spot here.
The property's had a bit of a troubled past.
What kind of trouble?
Well, the usual story. Revenge.
What happened?
Anyway, you kids have fun.
Yep. August 13th. And so that's that. Gray, were you able to watch it on
I was, yeah. Sorry about that. I wanted to make sure I'm muted.
No, you're okay now.
Interesting. I don't know. Does it look like the worst Jason I've seen so far?
Goated?
It pays homage to, I definitely would not say goated. That is not the greatest of all time. But I kind of dug the homage to, coming out of the lake, grabbing her. I don't know. There's certain things that, they don't look as good as the original, but man, I can see what they're doing there. I don't know. Visually, it looks kind of appealing to me. I like the drone shot at the beginning. The color grading looks pretty decent, but it doesn't look expensive.
Right.
I'll put it that way.
And yeah, I'll agree with you, Adam. Adam says In a Violent Nature looked way better. I agree with that.
Yeah, I was thinking it was like a step below that one, but I don't know. I definitely want to see what kind of effects they're going to use for full-on Jason.
Well, so again, there's this weird fog between this and what it is. So they're having their cake and eating it too, and people are hook, line, and sinker. As long as I have new Jason, I don't give a shit. It's hard. It's a hard cider cross promotion. Angry Orchard. I'm wondering if they're going to have. Oh, now you're sold. Gray has changed his mind.
They're a decent orchard. We're not talking about a docile orchard here. They're angry this time. Angry Orchard is okay. But fair enough. I didn't see anything that tied into that in this trailer. I thought for some reason it was going to be that, but I guess the 15-minute short film is separate.
Yeah, I think it's deceptive. Making people think that there's this. They don't outright say Jason in the trailer either. I have nasty feelings about it. First of all, you gave me a 45-second fan film trailer, and people are like, "That's all I need." There was someone who commented, "We don't need a dumb TV show," and I'm like, "Whoa. You bite your tongue. Linda Cardellini's in that, and
about Cardellini?
like,
I mean, I was hoping that you were going to say you had a 1-minute trailer for that, and I was like, oh, that's exciting because I hadn't
wish.
heard a ton of the casting for that, and I was actually kind of looking forward to it. But yeah, I have no idea exactly how they're going to work the rights to all of this stuff. But yeah, I think the show is going to be a lot better. I think we live in kind of a heyday of television right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. Wow, man, if there's any Friday the 13th fans left that appreciate my opinion, you'll be gone after this. I don't think there's much content on the bone for the Friday the 13th universe, for the Jason Voorhees universe, but I feel like having some sort of Bates Motel type thing with Crystal Lake and filling out the Pamela character, that is interesting to me. I don't want just a dude in a hockey mask jumping out of water. Like, let me know something that I can give a shit about.
What if he goes to Florida, though?
All right.
Think about it.
We haven't seen him in Florida or India. I want Jason versus India is what I want. But yeah, I don't know if it's just like me being tired of it or like me wanting something different, or I don't know if I'm not going to use the word mature because that's not me, but my taste
I
has
hear what you're saying.
Oh boy, here it comes. But
I mean, like, you see things like now I'm blanking on it, the one that was kind of like by the opposite perspective. Damn it, it was just referenced in chat, and I'm blanking on it. The one that was kind of flipped perspective. So you're looking at it from In a Violent Nature, or no.
Oh yeah. From you're with the killer. Yeah, In a Violent
Yeah.
Nature.
Okay. For some reason, I was thinking that was the Viggo Mortensen one. My bad. History of Violence. Yeah, I was like really switching that. Thank you, Alex. I don't know why. My brain is not working right now. I don't know. That seems like the public wants something like that. That it really feels like it is just another one of those, like you mentioned, but it's a slight variation on it. You're right. Like, there's not a whole lot to innovate on, but it's been over a decade since we've had something like that. So I don't know. I think the public is just hungry for something in that genre. But this doesn't seem like it's anything amazing. Where at least the twist with In a Violent Nature, or In a Violent Nature, I did the same thing again. At least then, there is the twist of we're seeing it from the other perspective, which, hell yeah. Like, why wouldn't you want to see something kind of like that?
Yeah, I appreciate some of the stuff they do in that movie. Some of it I'm just like odd, but to have a different look at something like that is fun. Yes, Adam says A History of a Violent Nature. What if
I did it to myself. I was like, don't say this, and then it was the only thing that I could think of.
What if Jason was race swapped? You know what? I want Jason gender swapped is what I want. I want Jacina.
Been too long.
Yeah. Let's reboot this thing. Make Jason woke. As a Friday the 13th fan, I would much rather Freddy Krueger being brought to life, because I would like to see them do that hybrid of CG and practical effects, because man, there's a lot you can do visually with Freddy Krueger and Nightmares, because Nightmares, you kind of have some carte blanche with the environment. So I don't know.
But campers. I mean, you can have cabins, you can have tents. There's so much variation.
So let me take a sip.
Nowadays, you got those sleeping hammocks. Wow. I don't know. You're right. Like, it does feel like that's kind of been done, where you could really go heavy into the Nightmare. Just when they tried to reboot that, maybe it wasn't the right time, but just they didn't hit the same for me.
Right. And, when I see, again, they could be clipping or getting rid of the negative comments, but when 9 out of 10 comments are, yes, the GOAT is back, I kind of want to step away from the crowd and be like, yeah, no, you know what? I'm not a part of this group anymore. I don't know what happened, but I kind of want.
Well, I hope they're there for the show. because if they're championing the bit, like I don't know, I haven't seen Cardellini do bad before, so I have a little bit of faith in this.
Yeah, dude, I don't like, I don't know. It seems like a fair amount of the Jason crowd is just play the hits. We don't want a new album. Just give us the hit single over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, I know. Yeah, there's a good portion of that crowd where the first one isn't exactly their favorite. They want the hockey mask and beyond.
Yeah, I don't know. It's depressing. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna watch it. You'll be able to watch me react to it. But like, I am way more fired up for the idea of like a prequel show based on Jason's mother. Like, fill that character out. Make me appreciate the old one more somehow. Can you make it so that I feel like 1980 is a way better version by just doing something today? I would like that. I don't know if that's possible, but I'd rather that.
I think it is. I think it's again kind of like you mentioned with the Bates Motel thing. Like I think you really could kind of flesh that out more, and I hope they're able to do it. I wish him nothing but success. I think you could really take this. You could treat this seriously, unlike they did in quite a few of the films.
Right.
I think you could really make more steam for this whole franchise.
Right. And I'm not saying that, I'm not rooting against it or anything. Like, if you can somehow play the hits and be impressive about it, that's cool. I'm there for it. But I'd like to see something new, something challenging. Speaking of just play the hits, if you were watching on Showtime, you're probably done with the most recent episode of Dexter Resurrection, which yet again the internet has claimed goated for the 4th episode of a 10-episode series. The king is back. Dexter is everything's okay in the world again. Dexter episode 4, Dexter Resurrection episode 4, Call Me Red, is the best thing I've seen in the series. I've seen that comment that this episode is the best thing in the series, which don't know if I would go that far, but how are you so far, Gray, on the Resurrection?
I haven't drunk that much of the Kool-Aid. Sadly, so you put all of this stuff on paper, it doesn't seem like it would work, but somehow for me, it seems like it is. Like, I don't know, the element of, this secret meeting with a whole bunch of different people with the same interest. To me, that doesn't seem like it would work. And then when all of the names were released that were going to be in it, it's like, how? Like,
yeah,
I guess maybe you could do like a dream thing. Like, I don't know, just have them kind of and I guess, there are certain flashbacky type cameos in this, but man, what really should not work somehow is for me. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's the best. It's hard to top Trinity for me, but still, I totally thought this is going to be the worst thing ever, but all right, I'll watch it. So I actually banked it to where there were 3 episodes, and then, man, I just went through them this week, and man, I'm so on board in a weird way. Now I forget what Young Dexter was called, but I don't know. It was Original Sin. Thank you. It was kind of pissing me off. Just they really seem to be kind of tarnishing Harry's legacy, and I don't know. I think the tone that they hit with this one is just kind of right. And there were certain things comedically that didn't quite line up, like what they were trying to do with the beginning of the intro to Original Sin. I still thought it was better than the last season of Dexter, or the last couple of the original show, and now I'm forgetting what that. Not Reborn. Was it Reborn? Was the whatever the hell the other one was called, where it was Future?
Future.
From where he figured. What do they call the show when he brought it back? New Blood. Thank you.
Like, Future. What the fuck? I didn't see that.
Instead of the past. I forgot all the names because it meant nothing to me. I really hated that show. I really thought that was nearly as bad as the other The last few seasons of the original. So I was not on board with this one, and just, man, I don't know how everything is working, especially with thanks, Cody. Yes, I suck at names today. I don't know why I'm completely off on this.
Dexter,
but yeah, just to me, yeah, like they might be back. It is crazy how well this is working for me when there is no way that any of this should be. What about you? I know you're way more of a Dexter fan. You can actually name the shows on top of watching them.
Only because you're stammering and I'm like going through the Rolodex. Wait a minute, is this?
I just know it as young Dexter and then future Dexter that was not good. And now I've got Resurrection.
Future Dexter. Yeah, so they've retconned the retcon. Speaking of original sin, in this most recent episode, in episode 4, because if you watch Original Sin, they lead you to believe, or they show you, that Harry and Dexter don't really do anything until Dexter's like 18 years old. And in this most recent episode of Dexter Resurrection, they talk about, hey, remember when you were 16 and we did this? And I immediately was like, nope, because you showed us something different. Again, like, I've been kind of harsh on it. Like, I was guarded the first couple of episodes of this most recent season. But the third episode, I was like, okay, kind of cautious. And I hated the idea of, like you said, all of these stars and like this serial killer Avengers thing, or it's just like, I don't know. This kind of feels odd. But the way to get Dexter into that, like the fact that he takes someone out and then like steals their invitation, for some reason, that was enough for me. And from that point forward, it's a little Easter egg heavy. You know, they're doing fan service a bit. It's just past where I'm comfortable saying I like it. Like, no, all right, no more. Please stop. That's good. I see what you're doing, but please stop that. It reminds me of good Dexter. When Dexter is good, man, it's something to get addicted to. I mean, I've
even back then they had big cameos too. They were just kind of more, you know, for the whole season, where I don't know that every cameo is sticking around that long this time. But
yeah,
man, it does remind me of that in a good way, in a huge way.
Right. And it's again, it's one of those moments where like I see the reaction and I'm like, all right, it's not that great. I don't I feel like I'm on the opposite end of whatever. Like people are like, oh, just learn to love it. I'm like, no, they fucked us over twice before. They have to earn my love. And now I'm like, all right, I'm back. And then I see people who are like way more forgiving. I'm like, I guess maybe I'm the grumpy one still. But I saw it. If you search Dexter Resurrection on YouTube, one of the first videos that comes up is a thumbnail that says "perfect." And granted, it could be it could just be clickbait, but I don't know if I would use the word perfect. I don't know if there's a perfect Dexter episode in the last 10 years, at least. But it's a great start. The road ahead is really bright, and going back to the Jason thing, where people are like, oh, just give me Jason killing counselors. Like, okay, how much of that do you need to see? There's this similar parallel with the Dexter community, where they're like, oh, all of these serial killers that he gets to take out. And me, I'm like, oh man, Harry and Harrison and Angel, that little storyline, give me that drama. Like, I'd like the rest of the season to be that storyline. But you know, we've got a lot here. It's Thanksgiving for plot points. I just hope they treat all of it with the equal amount of respect. Is there anything that is less than good for you, Greg?
For me, no, not really. I mean, it's kind of the holdover of how they're kind of retconning what happened in the previous series, and you know, like the holdover, the new sheriff, I believe.
Future Dexter?
To me, Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the way they're retconning future Dexter and just making way for Dexter Resurrection.
Dexter in 2015.
Yeah, New Blood. Excuse me. Yeah, so I definitely should have remembered New Blood because I really wasn't digging the character of Harrison in that,
Mhm.
but somehow this show was able to accomplish what that one
Quickly,
was really
too.
trying to get me to.
They did it
really
quickly, too.
It got me so on board with Harrison, and you're right. Like, I want to know what's going on with that side of it. Of course, you've got Dexter, and you've got this kind of big deal, but I don't know. That's almost coming second to a lot of stuff. My dog's opened a door behind me. But what can I say? I'm super excited for what's coming next in this, and I didn't think I would ever be excited for Dexter again. The last couple things, they were not nearly as I don't know, quality as I wanted them to be. There's
Sloppy.
elements of
I would say sloppy, and they played on like sight gags and fan service, which is like, here's a thing that you like seeing, and like how many times that there were in universe conveniences where it's just like someone's on my tail, but this other third character is going to take them out. It's just like, what? What? This is Dexter's really lucky, man. I can't believe how lucky he constantly gets. But too many times over the course of Dexter, you're not even like, when it's good, they still have these little happy accidents where it's like, you couldn't write yourself out of that. You had to have this situation where someone saves Dexter's ass. Like, too many times in this series, they'll have these dramatic moments that like really set up tension, and then someone crossing the street gets hit by a car, and it's like that.
Or they'll set up this character where you really want to see it. Like I keep going back to now I'm blanking on his name, but the preacher guy. Dexter was gonna. It felt like something was gonna happen there, and it's just like, oh nope, just forget about that character.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not getting any of that feeling here. It feels like everything that they're setting up is kind of there for a reason, which I don't know. I just hope they can keep up this consistency.
Right.
I think I'm fully on board, which I wasn't sure about till this last episode.
Right. And something that I don't know how I feel about it, but they've announced at San Diego Comic-Con, the way they're presenting Dexter Resurrection is season 1. They've officially had the title season 1 under any of the marketing for Resurrection. So it seems as if they've signed on for, or they've renewed it for at least another season. So, if it seems like they bit off more than they can chew, there's at least more than 10 episodes. So there's something happening here. It makes me wonder, are we going to have a major death this season? Because something has to give, right? Between Angel, Harrison, and Dexter?
Mm-hmm. I would assume Angel's not going to let go of that bone. So we'll see.
I mean,
yeah.
They could do a do-over on Dexter dying and passing the throne to Harrison. I think what they could, Michael C. Hall could still play Dexter, but Michael C. Hall could be to Harrison as Harry is to Dexter. Like, have him be like his, internal monologue thing, but we still have Michael C. Hall. I don't know if I'm completely ready for that idea just yet, but it seems like I'm a hell of a lot more open to that idea than I was at the end of New Blood when they said, "Oh, we're going to go ahead with Harrison." No, I don't want that. So I don't know.
But if it's this version of it, I don't know. I don't want it right away, but I don't know that I would necessarily hate that eventually in this. But
that's all I'm saying.
It does kind of seem like they've laid the groundwork that could happen. But we'll see. I really hope that they keep up that same consistency, because I think I'm fully on board now, and I never thought I'd do that with Dexter again.
Right.
Just the fake beard and the that whole last season got me.
Future Dexter's pretty bad, yeah. Dexter 2049. Yeah, so I think the positive thing about this season, this series right now is, you can look ahead to a couple of different, destinations where it's like, oh, that'd be interesting if that happened, or if that happened, or like it's a hell of a lot more forward thinking in, I don't know, it's not dread so much as it's, anxiety, like, ooh, this has
Mhm.
potential, where, they've come a long way, because after New Blood, it was just like, how the what? This doesn't make sense. What are you doing? And I don't know. I'm we're only 40% of the way through this season. I wouldn't call it perfect. I think Dexter kids need to take off their TikTok Happy Gilmore 2 hats every now and again. Um, like
Yeah.
I'm happy. I think what they're doing is positive, but I don't want to. I don't want them to think that they have an easy road ahead. Like I'd like them to
Under
keep trying.
Same, and I hope they do. I hope they can keep up this consistency. But I would totally understand a whole bunch of criticism towards this for just going too far into it and referencing too many like-minded, too many of Dexter's colleagues, if you will. And then
Yeah.
some of that, it got real close to being too much for me. But man, just I think they have the restraint that I'm looking for.
Are you
Dexter's.
talking about characters that are not fictional being referenced, or are you talking?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I have a problem.
Well,
with that
they
too.
had a good mixture of everything in there, but I don't know. If you had just told me it on paper again, it would be like, this shouldn't work. And
Yeah.
then when you mention that it also has this secret meeting, I don't know. All of those elements to me, it's like, this is too much. Like, that's just not going to work.
Right.
It's going to be completely unbelievable. But somehow I'm fully on board with it.
Right.
So.
I fully agree. I feel like, having the clown outfit just to establish, like, oh, okay, so that's the kind of guy this is. I didn't need to see Dahmer's fridge. Like, I was watching they have like this tour through the museum thing, and there are pieces of memorabilia in this fictional thing that are like real life things,
Mhm.
and I don't like that. I'm wondering if I'm giving them too much credit to kind of have some sort of commentary on how we in the horror, we in the true crime, how we, I don't know, celebrate these characters. Cody says, "You snobby bitch! All the serial killer mementos were awesome." Yes, the fictional ones, yes.
I'm not sure which one of us is the snobby
I think
bitch.
he means both.
Like I said, like on paper, it feels like that'd be too much, but in actuality, like for me, it just totally works. Seeing Pogo's outfit, it's just hell yeah. And then these other ones that it's like you can kind of just name. I don't know. I found myself pausing it with my wife and kind of, do you know this one? Can you recognize this one?
Mhm.
It's pretty awesome. And they don't necessarily point out each one, so it is kind of fun. Unlike the way that Happy Gilmore 2 did it, you can actually get a little bit of payoff by looking at these other things around the room, which is awesome.
I think, considering that we have 8 seasons of Dexter hunting serial killers, it could have been 80% in-universe characters, where, like, there are these little trinkets of people that Dexter took out. Like, there's that dude who wore, like, the Viking outfit and would lock people up in one of the seasons, where it was when Deb knew, where Deb and Dexter were getting chased by this dude in like a fucking, he looked like he was right out of Skyrim or some shit. Like, having his outfit in there, like, if like, I don't know, it's not like it's make or break for me, but I would just prefer not to highlight real life shit. It is where I get a little uneasy about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it really seems like it should be corny, but somehow, I don't know, it kind of works for me.
Right. And so Jacob says, I understand the sensitivity of having real life serial killers, but a museum entirely made up of fiction killers sounds corny to me. That's why I'm saying, yeah, having the Gacy clown outfit, like, as the centerpiece, like, okay, this is what this thing is. It's to give us, an idea of what this type of thing is. Like, I think having so many little trinkets from real life stuff is I don't know. I don't know if this show is going to take this stance, or if it's a commentary, or if it's just, you know, preaching to the choir about a bunch of true crime fans that there are in the Dexter universe. But shouldn't we not be celebrating it? Like, do we know any of those people's victims' names? And is there something to be discussed about that? I guess I don't have the answers. It's just not like
Just asking questions.
Yeah, I don't have the names of the victims, and I know John Wayne Gacy, but I don't know any of the victims. So what does that say about me? Like, it makes me feel icky.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the point, and that might I would find it hard to believe that it's not a commentary on it. You know, like now it has become more of pop culture. Like there is kind of this fascination with serial killers and fictional serial killers, and yeah, kind of mixing it all together. I assume there has to be a commentary on it. I want to see where they're going with this character and kind of his needs, because they're not just commenting on that, but kind of his place in society and what he's representing. I think might also be some sort of message, but who knows? Maybe I'm giving him more credit, and they were just happy to get a cameo.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If you can get me to like somehow think of, well, what if Dexter were to get Dahmer on his table? Like that's like Inglourious Bastards, how they have, you know, alternate history with Hitler. If you can somehow get me to feel that way about you know, real life people in the Dexter universe, because knowing what he does, he takes out serial killers. I'm with that. It's this fine line where, like, listen, again, I'm on board. I'm with it. There's just times where I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. So it makes me look internally, and I don't have the answers.
And Cody's totally right as well. In his second to last comment, where he's saying like it's not to celebrate and glorify it, but I think they're using known ones and, you know, huge characters that we would necessarily know, like again Gacy, and then they're showing that, hey, he's actually more prolific than any of them, but he's not the one getting credit for it. It is a different Bay Harbor butcher.
You don't have to try to kiss Cody's ass. He still remembers what you said about Happy Gilmore.
And I stand by it, man. I give it more than 1 star.
Can't wait for tomorrow.
It didn't disappoint me. But no, like I think he's really right, because also the way the episode ends, they definitely show a certain amount of recognition once a certain confession is made, like right at the end. Just they're really beating it home that you know, Dexter is something else.
Excuse me. Cody begs to differ. Keep kissing. Fucking glutton. Yeah, so yeah, he knows you're kidding, Cody. Relax. So to another glutton of punishment, there is a new South Park episode, and I'll be honest, I don't know the last time I saw a South Park episode, but it made a lot of news, I guess, all over, because their targets were interesting, and they just signed a very, very lucrative deal, $1.5 billion to do 10 episodes a year for the next 5 years. And while I think the commentary in Dexter is kind of subject to be discussed, I certainly think South Park is doing a shitload of commentary on modern, well, a lot of things. Gray, how did you feel about season 27, episode 1 of South Park?
I absolutely loved it, man. So I am a stan for those guys, so to speak. But man, I love me some Matt Stone and Trey Parker, and just those guys. They foresaw what was coming down the road, and they got streaming rights to South Park way long before anybody even thought. It was during like the Netflix still on disc days, and just, man, they have a deal that anyone would kill for with streaming now. They just own so much of the rights, and that's one of the reasons why they kind of had a lot of negotiating power here. But man, on top of going through negotiating this huge deal, where earlier last week they weren't sure what was going to happen with this Paramount Skydance deal. They weren't sure where their episodes would actually air, if there was any streaming. So if it did just air would it literally just be that one time and then it can't be streamed anywhere? And then what is kind of the future of it? And just, man, to put together an episode like this that is just talking about so much that's going on culturally right now in the middle of this merger that left for uncertainty, and then weaving that into here so strategically, just, man, these dudes are amazing. They're at the top of their game. I don't think there's any other cartoon that has kind of done what these guys are able to do. And just, man, hats off to Matt Stone and Trey Parker. And just, they went hard. I can understand how a lot of people are really going to dislike this. But man, it pokes fun at a whole bunch of different issues that are going on from right now. And it kind of has a message in it where it is the exact opposite of Happy Gilmore 2. They're trying to go just for comedy, no real message. And this is so much message wrapped up in comedy.
So comedy's alive and well.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully this means that there's room for everything. And I hope this Friday when Naked Gun, that remake comes out, I hope even spoof comedy is worth something. But man, this gives me so much hope. And I had heard tell that there was supposed to be an untitled Trey Parker, Matt Stone musical that was supposed to come out this year, and I hadn't heard anything of it, and it's totally not out. So, I hope this 1.5 billion or whatever gives them a chance to go ahead and write that musical, because, man, those dudes, they just kill it. And it was fun to see some of the characters from, I guess it's their second musical, come back. I loved seeing Satan in this one. He's long lost.
Yeah. So I don't know. Have they targeted the 45th/47th president of the U.S. before like this?
They came hard at 45, but in a different way. So this is the first time that they actually put like his face on there, and man, they did the thing that they do where they give it the funny voice, essentially the same voice as Saddam, but man, they chose like the absolute worst/best just images to do like every time he's kind of turning, just very unfortunate images. But before they had Garrison as kind of a Trump for the last few seasons, and then they just completely changed it to now we actually have Trump in there. So this is the first like a real version of that where they've come after him. But man, they took a lot of real swings. And if you know kind of what's going on behind the scenes at Paramount with certain shows kind of going away and they're questioning of whether they can be there, man, there's some other real hard swings that got taken.
Yeah.
But there's also the really crude jokes as well.
Sure. Like, I think just subtracting the president storyline, Cartman having something of an existential crisis about how like woke isn't a thing anymore, and like it somehow ties in that like his favorite station to listen to is NPR because people call and complain, but it's been canceled. So like I guess that ties back to the president thing, and it was an interesting angle to take, and like only South Park can do it that way, where Cartman's pissed because he can't troll listen to angry lesbians on the radio, and like that was interesting, and he was like depressed about it, and it takes an interesting roundabout way to say it, that we need to hear everyone's perspectives, even if you hate it, if it's cringe, like it serves a purpose to you if you think it's cringe because you're laughing at it. So does I don't want to put you out on this, but is your cursed feed, is everyone taking this in stride? Is the cursed folks of X, are they all on board with South Park, or are they offended, or are they cheering it on?
It might just be my feed, but I'm not seeing anyone offended by it. I'm sure there are out there, but yeah, my feed is just kind of saying like South Park declares woke is over, and just like an amazing episode. So I don't know. Mine seems to be all positivity, and when I'm looking up kind of anything around the commentary on there, yeah, I'm not seeing a ton of hatred for it. I'm sure it exists, but yeah, it kind of is strange because it also goes hard at woke
Sure.
culture, but at the same time, it is also going against the whole the Christian right, if you
Oh,
will.
wow.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of things that I can see why people would hate this, but it only aired, what was it, last Wednesday or
Wednesday, yeah.
Thursday or something? Yeah, so give it time. I'm sure it'll piss off more people, but
Yeah, and I think comedy works when everyone can be laughed at. I genuinely feel that. If you've followed me for any amount of time, I play rough, but I'm open to it. Like if you're going to play rough back, I deserve it. But I feel like that's everyone should be fair game, and it's something that I think is best if we could all laugh at each other and realize, oh, we're all imperfect. Some of the it hasn't been recently, so I might have this wrong. Like some of the misconceptions about comedy take things as like I don't know, like when people think about All in the Family as being racist. I
mean,
don't know if that's true. Like it, like when people
certain ignorance, but for a comedic effect.
right. So like thinking that like the Archie Bunker character is based is kind of not understanding the humor because Archie Bunker is like he says the things that he says, but everyone else in that show is there to give you the perspective that he's off. Like would
Mhm.
that's not how everyone feels. So it's confusing when people tend to miss what the like the point is of something. Like yeah, I don't think South Park is just there to say retard. Like there's other things going on. Like they're not just saying the words that you want to say. There's a subject matter. There's perspective. There's subtext there. Like it
But
troubles
that
me.
being said, they're gonna say it a few different times, and they're gonna point out that it's acceptable to say it now.
Sure.
And they're gonna do it in a pretty funny way. I don't know. I think there's a lot of kind of cultural phenomenon that it brought up in this one particular episode, and just
Hmm.
yeah, hats off to them. I know they were a little unsure whether or not this would be the end, and it sounds like they kind of put a nice little bow on it in case it was. But yeah, I'm glad they worked everything out, and hell yeah, they deserve everything they negotiated for. It really seems like they foresaw what was coming in the future with streaming.
Yeah, and above all else, I don't know in my lifetime. I don't know of a period when the president wasn't mocked by comedy and media. Like that's your job. Like listen, you got the highest office in the land. People are gonna take jabs. Like that comes with the territory, dude. Like grow up. Like it's a fucking cartoon. Don't you have other things to do? But yeah, I it's the first episode I watched in a very long time, and they haven't skipped a beat as far as I'm concerned. So I'm excited. Rounding out, we'll finish the episode with some real life stuff. Oddly enough, another reminder for you to subscribe to the Savage Cinema. For all the movie content, I'm shooting all of the exclusively movie content, Charles-based content over on that channel. There should be a link in the description. This is going to be more of a stuff like this. This isn't me saying that, oh, we're going to talk about real life stuff now. It's just kind of trying to figure out the algorithm for a new channel. But what am I based at? You can speak to me. You don't have to
You just
comment.
said Charles based, and I was saying no, based Charles. Come on.
Oh, right. Yeah, so this is just an interesting topic that I don't know. It might be something of a preview to the thinkers on Thursday, but Gray, what do you know about the hubbub behind this tea app?
Somebody spilled the tea to me a little bit, but I know nothing other than like a one paragraph thing. Apparently, there was this app where you could kind of I know you know it a lot better than me, but
Oh,
apparently you had to.
I don't know. A lot would be the word I would use, but go on. Yeah.
Well, you've followed up on this, and apparently even possibly had a conversation in real life
Oh yeah,
about this,
we had a
where
discussion. All right. Yeah.
I only talked in a paragraph and then made a stupid joke. Um, but yeah, apparently women would be verified that they are a woman, and then they had this app that they could go on and kind of report possible problematic men that they had dated or whatever through the app. So it was kind of like an anonymous way to report, I don't know,
Yeah. So
unpleasant experiences, so to speak. Not necessarily anything that crosses a line or anything like that, but like, these are.
they literally use like flags, like red flags and green flags. Like if the person's a good guy, which I didn't hear much about that, they get green flags. The comparable that I saw it like compared to was Are We Dating the Same Guy, which is a community on Facebook where, like, I don't know, if you've been on a date with someone and you're suspicious, you put a picture of them and you're like, hey, anyone in the South Dakota area dating this guy, and like, I don't know, you kind of whatever. So this app is the T, and they share pictures of people and explain their red flags. It's so the messaging they were telling everyone, the on the up and up was, well, we're trying to save people from being in danger if there's abusive men out there, and I accept that. Like, it's good to tell people if someone's actively a threat to someone, but it seems as if this got a hell of a lot further than just this guy might be a threat to my health. It's just spamming and sharing a bunch of tea. Only women could sign up for the app, and you had to like.
You know how they verified that? I heard that there was a verification process.
Pictures.
Sorry, I think I cut you off while you were saying.
No, it's fine. Pictures. Some people used license pictures, and yeah. So I have a BBC article from yesterday. Tea dating advice, US-based women-only app with 1.6 million users said there had been an unauthorized access to 72,000 images submitted by women. Some included images of women holding photo identification for verification purposes, which is T's own privacy policy. They promise are deleted immediately. So promises kept, promises broken. T said the breach affected members who signed up before 2024. Which makes it worse somehow.
Oh, so if you're late to the game,
those have been sitting around. Don't worry about that. We only just started this rule. The app has recently experienced a surge in popularity as well as criticism from some who claim it is anti-men. T lets women check on whether potential partners are married or registered sex offenders. Like, that's where I agree with that. Like, if a dude's married or a registered of SA or that, yes, like you should know that if you're going into a relationship, that's fine, but it gets a little sticky. T-let sex offenders as well as reverse image search to protect against catfishing. So they put an image up, and I guess you can track the image to see if it's if somebody, Scott, sends you his image and you check it and it reverses to some dude named Norm. There's something there. So I'm a little hazy on that one because I'm sure not every woman uses the right pictures for themselves. So the fact that it's only one way. Listen, I'm with you for marriage and abuse. I agree with that, but the reverse image searching when a man can't do that with you is a little it's a bit hypocritical as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, you do have Google. You could always try and reverse image search whatever image a person has.
You would
but
think, right?
fair enough. I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of versions of this that have been tried in the past. Like you mentioned the one on Facebook, which doesn't seem like you'd need this weird
No, you're right.
verification
You're right.
thing, but I know there's like these anti-bullying ones that were either released or tried to be released back in the day. And, you know, because you're anonymously reporting these red flags about somebody else,
hmm
it seems so ripe for slander. Like you don't have to have any evidence or anything like that, and you could just completely
Right.
ruin someone's reputation. So
I-
they don't seem to be sustainable for that reason. How do you stop someone who's vindictive? Like, say we broke up or something like that, and I just have something against you. Why couldn't I claim you did a whole bunch of things or whatever?
Yeah, I think naming it the T, it like that
Mm.
implies that you're like spreading dirt. Like if it were, you know, the Women Protector app, I would be a little bit more inclined. But like you're calling it the T, I don't know if you're trying to be cute, but I think it's a shame because if people are concerned about their well-being, like I'm sure at some point there's some portion of the intent behind this, maybe 10%, where it was like, you know, let's make sure these people feel safe. But yeah, there are a hell of a lot of bad actors that are taking this, and you know, this guy leaves his shoes off in the airplane. Red flag. Like I don't. The fact that it's not a two-way thing is a little funky. One of the most controversial aspects of T is that it allows women to share information on men they have dated to avoid red flags, but also highlight those with green flag qualities. The company said that in the breach photos can no way be linked to posts within T. The firm blocks screenshots for that so that posts are not shared outside the app. But on Friday, it also admitted that an additional 59,000 images from the app showing posts, comment, and direct messages for over 2 years were accessed. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So the thing that they assured us about also. Huh. Okay. So that's interesting. So that if they do get leaked, I think you would have way more of a case of potential slander. But still, isn't that like over 150 or 100 and something thousand women got their IDs leaked?
Yeah.
That seems like that company is going to be paying out a lot.
So the company was set up in November 2022 by Sean Cook, a software engineer who said he was inspired to create T after witnessing his mother's online dating experiences. He told Medium in May, "I was shocked by how easy it was for catfish, scammers, and criminals to take advantage of women on dating apps and how little traditional dating apps do to protect users." Why wouldn't you just do a traditional dating app that protects users? What is this T shit that you're doing?
Well, you're just filling the in between, you know, that those exist. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I'm just going to do this sidecar thing for the wheel. You know, yeah, that makes sense. It sounds like I don't know. It feels like it'd be more effective if you created one that is a secure dating thing, but I'm sure somebody would find a way to game it.
Earlier this year, an individual named Nico, I won't say the last name, took legal action against the Facebook's owner Meta because a number of statements made about him in a chat group called Are We Dating the Same Guy? The lawsuit was thrown out by federal judges in Illinois. Yeah. So this has kind of gotten a hold on the comment universe, because I've been suggested a couple of things, and I was like, this is how it became a conversation here in the house, where I don't know what we were watching, but my partner, my Mrs. Wife person friend, turns to me and says, "How would you feel if you were in that app?" And I was like, I haven't dated in about 20 years. What do you mean? How would I feel if I was in an app? And it was something that, like, she expected me to be a bit more bothered by, but, like, if someone's putting pictures of me up and claiming that whatever, first of all, it's not true. Like, I guess I'd have to deal with the issue if someone were to put a picture of me up in something like that and say, "This guy's a serial vanilla Coke drinker." Yeah, guilty. Um, I I don't know. I knew what her intent was with the question. It was, you know, do you think you do everything by the book? And no, I don't. But like, we didn't get to it. I guess what I could have countered with is, would you put up an image of someone that you were dating that, you know, wouldn't exactly call a red flag, but, you know, he leaves a toilet seat up, so I'm gonna put his images on this app and spread tea. We need a YouTube version of this app. Preach.
I don't know. I think you kinda do. You have that already with the comments section, and then
Mm,
there is, not only, like, Reddit, but there's, like, the Reddit, now I forget what they call them, but they're, like, the anti version of it.
4chan?
It feels like you've got, versions of those. No, it's the I'm forgetting the actual name
Tumblr?
for it now. It's actually through Reddit, but, yeah, they call it, whatever, and it's basically the anti version of that,
Hmm.
whatever their page is.
Mhm.
Snark, excuse me, it's Reddit Snark.
Oh,
Um,
oh.
but, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, 1KQ. Um, but, yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think so I'm in much of the same boat as you. I've been with my wife forever. So I wasn't around on many of these apps or anything like that, but, man, I had some really shitty dates in the past, and I think they would be within their rights to say, like, this dude ended the date really quick, and it was like he wanted to get out of there because I did on quite a few of those. It's like, "This is going nowhere.
Mhm.
I'm not, like, spending a whole night with this. No, we're done." And, I'm sure young version of me was just full of red
Mm,
flags.
mm.
I was not a good person. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised that, like, somebody who felt scorned or something like that reported it somewhere else, but, I don't know. I'd hope somebody I actually dated wouldn't. I would hope that they would just know the trivial things, like, this guy was a jerk. It seemed like he didn't wanna be around me. It's like, yeah, that's true. I didn't. I ended it real quick.
Yeah, so the word karma gets thrown out a ton. And I could see, like, both angles. So, on 4chan, they're dragging all of everyone through the coals on this, not just the fact that it was leaked, but the fact that this app exists. And, I don't think, see, it's these wild swings in either direction that, like, I think there are bad actors in this app, probably more bad actors than there aren't. But I do think, protecting someone's safety is kind of important, and, you know, the decent intent is there, but there are probably far more bad actors. On the flip side, um, spreading all of this for, um, you know, karma's sake is, I don't know, it takes it in another direction. Do you know that every single picture you've shared and every piece of information you've shared is from a bad actor? Like, I don't think
Yeah.
the app is entirely anti-man. Like, that's a thing that's frustrating too. Like, I find myself jumping to all of these different, you know, ideas, conclusions. Like, if you are
I
something of a
mean,
shitty dude, ha what does the rest of society, what are they owed of that information? And, like, how do
nothing
you fix that?
much. Same thing if, like, somebody created, like, a Facebook page or whatever or a Facebook group for people who have dated, like, that seems perfectly fine to me, I guess. Like, if you got proof that, this person did whatever, yeah, make all the claims. If not, somebody who has a lot more money might be able to silence you through possible legal action if you didn't think that you could prove that or whatever. But I don't know. I guess I don't see a huge issue for it, and especially the whole like this is only for women thing. It's like, yeah, I mean, how many guys do that? Like, okay, but what are her red flags? Like, let me, talk to all of her ex-boyfriends or what. Like, I don't know. That's not really a guy thing to do. It's usually like, is she suitable? Is she physically attractive?
Mm.
Cool. That seems to be the main two things. But I don't know. I don't think that there is kind of a aversion for guys. I don't think that that's necessarily what they're looking for.
And what is, I don't know, should all of men be pissed off for this?
I mean, it definitely sucks for somebody to catalog like all of your mistakes. I know I've definitely, so nothing along the lines of criminal or anything like that, but I've definitely not called people back, and I've definitely treated people horribly compared to how I would want to be treated. I'm sure there's a lot of red flag behavior in there. So I don't know. That would definitely suck if somebody cataloged that and then it stays on the internet forever. And anytime anybody who could possibly know you or is possibly in that group for whatever need, whether they're dating or they just want to look out for like a friend, they could access that information on you. Yeah, that would suck. But
it also,
I don't know. It is my past. At the same point, like I'll own it all. It's like, yeah, I totally didn't call her back. I totally strung her along. Like, yeah, I mean, I was an asshole in the past. I did some very red flag behavior.
Sure, but is it fair to be judged from like someone who I was dating would have a certain set of gripes, like me not calling back? Like there could be some story that I didn't call back because she was being annoying. Like she wouldn't stop calling, so like I just put her on red or whatever. Like if someone just sees that this guy ignores people, like you don't have the other perspective, and
For sure.
it's
But I mean, like, I wouldn't have that in the real world too. How many times, like, when you go through a breakup, how many times does everybody get both sides of the story? Like, you always kind of get one side or whatever. Or if a situation doesn't go well, generally you're not asking, okay, but what's his side of it? Like, you kind of hear the story from your friend. This seems like it's just it's a collection, and then other people can kind of add to it. It sucks. I wouldn't want to be on the other end of it, but I think it happens not on the app, in Facebook groups. So I don't know. To me, it doesn't seem that odd. I would kind of expect nowadays people could kind of be savvy and figure out people's reputations.
Like I'm of so many different minds here where like back in my day, we used to walk uphill both ways through, 10 inches of snow. Like my thought process is, this is how we learn about people, is experiencing, the good and bad, having bumpers through every experience. I don't know if that's the way to do things. And like at the same time, as someone who's just had my financial shit pushed in, as far as, financially, like credit checks and shit, like I'm in trouble for a while because of, a situation from a little while ago. That doesn't say everything about me with how I handle money. Like on my credit report, it's not going to say that, oh, he had a medical situation, he had depression. There are these situations, just he doesn't pay his bills. Like that's all that appears on a credit report. So the nuance of, like you said, how many times you get two sides of a story, the nuance of, why that person is that way is what's, I don't know, fascinating. And like, I guess where I had issue, or not issue, but like my wife was just like, really, just like that, huh? My thing was, I don't think I have read. First of all, I haven't dated, so there's that. I'm not on the prowl. There's no reason to.
Come on, don't sell yourself short. You got red flags. We all do.
If anything, like I would do things for bits. Like when I was on the road, I would like check out dating apps to see like what the fuck's going on for like material sake, but none of it was serious. Like my immediate answer was, if it's true, then it's true. But if someone's spreading something negative about me, that's a problem. But you know, my first response was, I should not be a shitty human being, and
True.
I
That's
don't know.
kind of where I'm coming down on it off the top of my dome. Like just kind of hearing what this app is and what it's for. I don't know. That's not too concerning, but still, I would obviously hate it if it followed me around or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm not the same dude I was like in my teens and 20s when I was a real scumbag, and I definitely mistreated people. I would hate for all those accusations. Basically, like not calling people back, ghosting them, just being an overall unreliable asshole.
Oh,
I would hate to be categorized the same way today. I think I'm a little bit more reliable. Still an asshole.
right. So, like, but like part of it is the fact that it's only, I don't, like you said, I don't know if there would be an app where men would report on women. Knowing how, when I was dating, how someone would put their spin on my experience. Like, I would say that one of my exes had a bit of issue with jealousy, and just in a world where she were on this app and reporting on me, she would say something like he had a wandering eye or something like that, which isn't true. Like every person's standards aren't considered. And again, I'm not doubting for a second that there aren't people that are either over exaggerating or just making shit up or just trying to get over on someone. Like revenge porn is a thing. This is just kind of the sideways version of that, no?
But you could also have positive review bombing. Like, couldn't you just pay a woman to put your picture up there and it's like, this is the best guy ever?
God damn.
Like just green flags or whatever. You could game the system the other way too.
I fucking hate the internet.
It doesn't seem like it's a foolproof thing, but you never know.
Dice says, my last experience with a dating app could be summed up as follows. I agree. Jacob says, I was shitty my late teens, early 20s. So if the shit going around about me is true, fair enough. If not, we have a problem. And that's kind of
where I think we are landing on it, but
yeah,
still, that would suck. I'm not the same person I was like in my teens and early 20s, but still, I will own up to I was an asshole, and I definitely mistreated people. I didn't treat them like human beings who wanted to actually be responded to. I ghosted a lot. That was kind of my go-to.
So to be Angel's advocate, if you currently are on the internet and you are in your teens and you're in your shithead period of your life, do you deserve your image being spread around? Like, I think we're both in the same boat here. I don't think either of us had social media when we were in our teens and early 20s.
No, and luckily MySpace wiped most things. That was kind of my go-to with picture posting too.
I'm not. What I'm saying is, if I were 18 or early shithead 20s, in the age of social media, there would be stuff to trace on like stuff that I would not want to have associated with me. So I
for sure.
do
But
feel
would
bad.
you run from it or would you deny it? Like if you actually did it, it seems like you own most of your crap. I'd like to think that I would. Like, yes, I was an asshole. I never called them back. I strung them along like I was just a jerk.
Don't you think it's a little bit easier if you can deal with these things with like one other person or two other people rather than the internet having, a comment section on an app which is featuring your picture and bringing up your red flags? Like,
I mean, ooh. But if you have a feeling that like your husband could be leaving you, you could just, really set the internet up against him as a bad person. I don't know. I can see a lot of uses for this app, but yeah, we'll see how it goes if they're still going to be around after all these lawsuits.
Cody chimes in with, God help us, YouTubers if this becomes the norm. Oh, you didn't like Happy Gilmore too? Cody groped me on our first date and then left me with a check. Red
Wow.
flags. 5 red flags out of 4. Yeah.
Yeah. I know I was an asshole, and I would totally own up to that on a lot of it. And, hopefully I never have to deal with dating again or whatever.
Right.
But if I do, I mean, I think I would just be honest. Like, yeah, I did horrible stuff in the past.
Yeah. I genuinely feel bad for people that like have yet to be shitty. Like, I think with some people, like myself, I was going through a ton of shit when I was younger. I'm still going through a ton of shit. But, going through that and experiencing how people react to that, like, kind of helps you, like, oh, I'm being something of a shit right now. I don't know if turning the volume all the way up and having the internet lay victim or magnify that experience. I don't know if that might hurt more than help, because some people might fall deeper into that if they feel like they're being ostracized.
Gotcha. It's also not like this is the most popular website ever or app ever. You're right. Like, there's over 1 million women on here. Yeah, but how many women are there in the U.S.? How many women are there in the world? The odds
At
are
least 2.
whatever woman you meet probably isn't on this. Yeah, I'm thinking there's at least 2 million. That's 500,000 women that aren't on this app. I don't know. I wouldn't care if somebody tried to do a background check on me. It's like, that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I figure this is kind of part of that too. And, hopefully I could answer for any of it. I would hope that they would actually come to me for some sort of answer, not just believe the internet.
Right. Oh, hey, by the way, this thing right here says your name is Kent and you're from India. What's that about?
If not, I think that kind of helped me weed out this person that, like, I'd want somebody that gives me kind of the benefit of the doubt, or at least allow me to explain myself. And if I didn't get that, cool. That's definitely not a person I want to be with.
I do think it's a product of the time too. Like, a lot of job applications, you need to have a background check, and like they'll do a credit check, and it's like, we're not hiring, your credit's shitty. Like, motherfucker, that's what I need a job for. Like, I need to fix my credit. What do you mean?
I'm working on it.
Like, how am I supposed to fix it? So I think that's just part of the environment now. Is just you're gonna have a record for whatever the fuck you do. I mean, Uber, like it was a joke in the Dexter show where you can't have anything below a 4.2, and it's like 4.2, Jesus, like 5 stars or nothing on the Uber app, which.
I'm just saying, that was the one unbelievable part of that episode, or I guess that's 2 episodes ago. I took quite a few Ubers in New York, and none of them offered me snacks. A couple waters, but no snacks.
Yeah,
come on.
I've seen the ability to charge something, like, you need a cable for your phone, or I've seen that. I mean, if you pay extra, they usually have like a water or something. It's that Uber Black where you're rolling in a fucking SUV or some shit. Extremes, but so the reactions I've seen have gone so far in the other direction where, see, just another reason that women hate men, and I don't entirely agree with that.
How is that hating men? Like, there might be some vindictive people out there who are spreading lies. Fair enough,
right.
But I'm sure there's also concerned people who are like, I had a really bad experience. I don't want anyone else to have this experience. That doesn't seem like men hating. That seems like trying to look out for your fellow woman.
Right. And
I don't know.
Like Jacob says, I'm fine with a background check. Embellishing, that's a different matter. And I agree. And like that's the thing that I think I keep coming back to, where I don't think all of them are bad actors. Like, I think if you have a history with abuse, like, you're gonna want to be guarded. If you could never be in that situation again, and someone could tell you that, like, you don't know how PTSD works. Like, if someone's really leery about shit, and someone who has experience with that person could let you know that, yeah, this guy's, He gets angry, he screams every now and again, but he's not gonna get physical. Like, that'd be nice to know.
Ideally, it would be great if they had some sort of, I don't know, if you have like a legal claim or something like that, maybe you'd have to show something to back it up, like if you're accusing somebody of a crime or something like that. But even then, I'm sure that goes against the victim having to like re-victimize themselves by proving that. I don't know. I'm of kind of two minds of it. I would like to think that I would never be accused of something like that, but you know, there are definitely vindictive people out there. It would suck if you were falsely accused on an app that you don't know, that doesn't allow you access to, but you know, potential mates get to see that.
So apparently the leak designed. So the T app, designed as a women's safe space. Hackers breached the app after a call on 4chan. So apparently it was instigated. I'm trying to find where that instigation reference is. The app angered some men and prompted a thread Thursday evening on the right-wing troll message board 4chan, in which users called for a hack and leak campaign. The company became aware of the incident, which was first reported by 404 Media early Friday. A 4chan user posted a link Friday morning allegedly allowing people to download a database of stolen images, and troves of alleged victims' identification photos have been posted on 4chan and X. See, now, do we know that every single person whose image was shared was a bad actor?
No. Again, there's probably somebody who was taking money to post the green flags. Like, why wouldn't you game it the other way too? But I don't know. Yeah, I guess I want to look into it a little bit more. But
yeah, I'm hoping. I realize we don't normally talk about real life stuff here, but it was an interesting conversation that me and the missus had last night, and I really wish that she were awake and here, because it was an interesting conversation. It's fascinating. It's all over the internet. I'm hoping we talk about it on Thinkers, or maybe I'll carve out a space.
I think we're going
do it
to
somewhere. I
believe the conversation shall continue Thursday.
I hope so.
The people want to join us.
I think there's a lot to discuss here, because I feel like there's such violent swings in both directions that negative actors on both sides have made this, I don't know, like the pure intent that this thing was started with are kind of lost, and that's unfortunate. And like Jacob says, people taking an opportunity to paint women as castration-crazed monsters, say it ain't so. Yeah. I don't know how people who think women are the worst are like. I don't know how you make them feel better about it, but fucking wild shit. Interesting time we live in.
It is.
I'm so glad I'm not on the market. So if you're looking for any red flags from me, the flag store is shut. We don't print that fabric anymore. No green, no red, no flags. Is Cody still here? Cody, you still in it? Like, I think I was going to plug what should be tomorrow night, but I don't know if Cody has verified one way or another. Gray,
nice.
Without saying what's happening tomorrow, although I'm like 90% sure.
Yep, I guess Cody's still here.
All right, so I got to wait for the delay to kick in. Without giving away what happens tomorrow, what do you have coming up or going on the autumn of gray?
Oh, it is the summer of gray. And as the summer is coming to an end, that means I'm working on new content. So new content for my channel soon. But if you just can't get enough of me, I'm all over the internet. There's a couple channels that I'm on like twice a week, and then the Thinkers every Thursday. I would stay with the highbrow one. Go to the Thinkers on Thursday. Charles is there. That's about all I got going on.
There's fun to be had on the MSK stuff. It's an interesting conversation.
I'm just there to roast a man.
Listen, again, I said it earlier. I'll say it again. Anyone who's okay with being both ends of the joke, the giver and taker, they're okay in my book. And MSK is pretty fair about all of it, and that's awesome. Cody did not reply. So Jacob says, keep in mind 4chan is the same site where a woman was cyberbullied into posting nudes via doxing. Harassment.
Damn. Yeah, 4chan is bad times.
Yeah,
it does seem to be weaponized parts of the internet, which definitely sucks.
Tomorrow night, Cody, is I don't think you ever verified. This guy will be there. You could take the conversation in a different direction and ask him, Happy Gilmore 2, why? But I'm almost positive. I just didn't want to bring it. Yes. So tomorrow, Gray will be right back. Gray will be right back. Cody will be here, and Rudy will be here, and we're going to be discussing the history of Ozzy Osbourne and his music, which includes Black Sabbath, his solo work, and I wanted to talk about some of his imprint on society and how he was a big deal to pop culture. Not just his music, but television, news, all of that stuff. Cody says, I'm getting the tendons in my hip severed, but I should be healed up by the witching hour. What the fuck are you talking? Tendons in my hip severed? I don't know. Is that code for something? Is that just, you have an erection? Is that all you're saying? Yeah. 10 p.m.
I don't think that's code for that.
Oh, Happy Gilmore 2 reference. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Come on, dude. It's a classic. How do you not recognize that hilarious line?
Everything I can to forget that shit. Woof. Woof. Yeah, so 10 p.m. Eastern, we'll be discussing music. We were supposed to discuss music a while ago. This is something of a spiritual sequel to that Metallica thing that we did over a year ago now, but we should have fun. And
hell yeah.
Yeah, we'll be back in less than 24 hours. Gray Poupée is the channel. Savage Cinema WILI, I think, is the YouTube shorthand on the other one. For Gray, Cody, Rudy, Charles, we'll see you tomorrow, soon. All green flags here. Remember that. Say goodbye, Gray.